Blog Talk Radio.
Hey there! Welcome to Big Blend Radio with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazine.com.
Hey everybody, it is a beautiful Thursday, July 19th, 2012, and you're listening to Big Blend Radio with your hosts, mother and daughter team Nancy Reid and Lisa Smith. Together we're the editors and publishers of BigBlendMagazine.com, which is home to 10 of our online radio and video magazines, including VacationStationMagazine.com. And together we are at the Porterville Chamber of Commerce, which is right in the heart of Central California's Sequoia country. We're joined with Linda Kissam, the food, wine, and shopping diva. She's one of our travel writers and food writers, as she is also known as the Wine Chicks. You can check out her website. Go to thewinechicks.com. Also, you can go to thewinebuzz.com. That's 4 Z's in that buzz, because she does like her wine, as we've discovered this week, visiting the Sequoias with Linda. And, of course, we've got Donette Carter. Donette is the CEO and Executive Director of the Porterville Chamber of Commerce, and she's also been one of our tour guides and organized this incredible trip, which is part of our Big Blend Spirit of America tour. So I encourage you to go to their website. It's portervillechamber.org. You can also go directly to discoverthesequoias.com, and that is part of the Sequoia Tourism Council. So go check that out. And we're here as part of our Big Blend Spirit of America tour, and what that is Nancy and I have a mission to connect America as a family to America's best idea by visiting all 397 national park units, and that's to enhance the quality of life and financial stability through education, communication, preservation, and sustainable practices. It's our effort to promote the full funding and protection of our national parks, all 397 of them, as well as our public lands and forests. And our goal is to visit each of the parks by the end of the National Park Centennial year on August 25th, 2017. So we've been here for almost a week. We arrived on Saturday, and we have been here. We've been touring the gateway communities. We've toured the Sequoia National Forest and also the Sequoia Park, the National Park, and this is the second park unit of our tour, which started in April.
And it's a biggie.
It's a biggie. In fact, it's so big we have to come right back.
It's really big.
The whole area is incredible. We've been touring the gateway communities, as I was saying, of Porterville. We've been through Porterville, Exeter. We've been to Three Rivers, which is also at the base of the Sequoia National Park. Porterville is at the base of the Sequoia National Forest, right, Donette?
Yes, it is, and the Giant Sequoia National Monument.
Yeah, we had a good time up there. And again, with that, we have to go right back.
And we welcome you back anytime.
Well, we're hitching the ride here in September.
Hey, you guys come on back. We'll take you back to the wineries and the eateries and everything else that you didn't have a chance to see, too.
Yeah, we've got a lot more coming up, too. Mm-hmm. We have a lot. And I know you've been traveling around while Nancy and I were playing around with the big trees. And let me tell you, those are some big trees. I don't think I could climb to the top of them. Neither could Priscilla.
No, she did try. She tried.
But
she found it a real challenge.
Yes.
Those are some big trees.
Especially when it comes to the giant Sherman, the General Sherman tree. That giant tree is giant. That's huge in the Sequoia National Park. But, Diva Linda, we call her Diva Linda because when it comes to food, wine, and shopping, she knows all about it. And, Linda, you've been touring the area with Donette. You teamed up with her, and you got to explore the shops and the boutiques of the area. And it was quite surprising to find what you found out here. It's pretty amazing.
Well, I was lucky enough to go to a variety of places, and I was just thrilled with everything I've seen. Really, really wonderful. I travel worldwide, and I will tell you what, can't beat what I found here. Absolutely wonderful. We went to a wonderful small place called Crave, and the food and the lunch and the cupcakes were fantastic. We loved that. And there's some specialty gift shops, which I could probably buy out without any problem. Went to an art association shop and certainly opened my credit card to them. And
I know Ellen can't wait for you to come home.
She's running around the region, go, here's my credit card.
We have had a great time with the shopping.
Yes, great time. Just visited a quilt store and a clothing shop and other things, and it really just So when you're through hugging those trees, come on down to Porterville and have a really great day. Park your car and shop. So I'm going to write all about that, and people can just follow my shopping tour and, just make sure your credit card's ready to roll.
That's why she has Mr. Big, which is her vehicle.
Oh, yes.
He starts a trip empty and comes home packed.
I think between everything that she got as far as what she bought and some of the gifts from our generous communities and businesses within those communities, she might have to get another truck to help her get home.
Well, I think
there we go.
Need a truck for all the wine.
Absolutely. Yes.
We're sitting here enjoying a beautiful, beautiful wine. This is from La Belle Winery, I believe.
No, this one is actually Bella Lavina Farms, and it's the Floozy Red.
Oh, well, how appropriate.
Yes.
You like the Floozy Red?
It's natural to me, so I think it's all good.
Well, salute and cheers to everybody listening to the show and everybody that has been part of this week's journey. And we want to thank everyone for the glasses. The Porterville Sequoia Visit July 2012 glasses. This is very special.
That's very special.
Sonette, can you tell everybody a little bit about where we're located? I mean, we talk about the Sierras and we talk about the Sequoias, and it can get a little confusing if you've never been to this region of Central California, but it's pretty easy to get to.
Absolutely, and really it is Central California. We're right in the middle. For those who are more familiar with Bakersfield, we are 45 miles northeast of Bakersfield. We're about 4 hours south of the Bay Area and about 2.5 hours into Los Angeles. And we are right at the base. We are one of the gateway communities to Sequoia National Forest, and just a lot to offer in Porterville, a great community. Our population is about 55,000, and then there's a greater service area that is well over 100,000. Right
on. And, we're based out of Tucson, Arizona, and we got here within a day. Very easy drive. We went, actually, we snuck a park in. We just, we were naughty girls. We're just sussing it out. Well, we know this park very well, Joshua Tree National Park. We used to live out there, and we came in through Joshua Tree, and then we came up through Southern California to Porterville. Very easy to get to. And what I thought was great is, you've got the national parks here, you've got the forest, but you're also part of the grander loop of all the parks as well, because people can go from Sequoias, and they can go up to Yosemite region, even the Stanislaus National Forest. They can go down to Death Valley from here and right back to Joshua Tree. And then they can come visit us in Saguaro.
Yeah, and we also have Kings Canyon there.
That's right. I know we're coming back in September for Kings Canyon and to do some more in Sequoia National Park and Forest and Exeter and Porterville and everywhere else, because we just can't get enough of this. I think our 5-year tour is going to get longer.
Oh, gosh, darn.
I know.
We'll see if you guys survive that long tour. Yeah. Well, we'll be happy to have you back, because of all the things that we did get to see in the greater Porterville area, there are so many things we did not get to see. We got to feature, some of our restaurants and take you there and look at our barn theater, our longest-running community theater in the state of California, and visit a variety of other different venues. So we're happy to have you back time and again.
We're excited. We've got a lot to talk about on the show. We have a lot of people joining us to talk about the region. We're going to talk about the Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. We're going to talk about Sequoia National Forest with Kevin Elliott. I'm glad he could join us today as well. We're also going to talk about the community of Exeter, which is where we just came back from, Exeter. Beautiful, beautiful area. Beautiful mural tour that we took. And I'm also one of the Sequoia National Park Gateway communities. We're going to talk about Tulare. We are actually based in Tulare County, and so we're going to be doing that. We're going to talk about Porterville, of course. Three Rivers, which is at the base of the Sequoia National Park. We'll be talking about Three Rivers and the art that Linda had a great time visiting all the art galleries out there and studios.
I did. It was wonderful.
And we're also going to go to Dinuba. That's our next on our list. I know tonight we're going to go to, is it the Zalud House?
The Zalud House, and you're going to have the ghost investigation after your tour. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going to be busy and heading to Tulare tomorrow and then Dinuba. Yeah.
Very excited, very excited. So we've got a lot. We've also got a great musician, Pete Grant, joining us. We met him. He's on the Stepsons, and great blues band that we saw outside of the Lunchbox playing. Now, the Lunchbox is really cool in Porterville. It is, you go right back to the 40s and 50s of rock and roll, but he's going to be joining us to talk about the music of the area and his music. And, of course, we're going to talk about Terra Bella and the wonderful wineries there. And let me tell you, you have not experienced wine country country until you've gotten in a limo, and I'm talking about a big stretch limo, okay? And you're actually going through orange groves and onto farmlands. It was not amazing?
It was amazing.
Diva,
It was a really
Linda?
unique experience. Very, very, very wonderful. I
And,
enjoyed it.
and we did have the ultimate driver.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we had Daniel
Yes,
with
we
Golden
did.
Touch Limousine, and he did a great job with getting us around. And I was impressed with how he maneuvered that huge limo SUV through the orange grove myself. That was
And the
awesome.
vineyards.
The vineyards, yes.
And he managed to deal with us.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the other thing.
And he
Priscilla
managed
and our
to
travel
pre-air
mascot.
condition the car every time we were about to get back in. He was already there, was already cool, and Divas like that.
Yes, we do.
A whole lot.
And Diva Linda, before we get started in talking about the forest and the Sequoia National Park, Kings Canyon National Park, the one thing, I know you're based out of Southern California, and you are a board member of the International Food, Wine Travel Writers Association. Is this a place you would recommend your other travel writer friends to come up to? Is it easy from Southern California for them to get to?
Yes. In fact, I think several of my travel writer friends are listening to this, so hello, all you guys. And yes, you all get to come up here at one point or another, so this is going to be fine. Easy 3.5-hour drive from Temecula, so it makes it closer from L.A., about the same distance from San Diego, and easy drive. And somehow my GPS, Mr. Big, took me on the wild ride again. I don't think it's the way everybody else does, but I had a great ride, and
He knew a shortcut.
yeah, yeah, maybe so. But anyway, easy. I was amazed how easy it is. So we have here more and more often.
So when we're traveling the rest of the country, we're going to get Diva reports.
Diva reports from the greater Porterville area.
Love it. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks, which is a big part of our tour. We're also going to talk about the Sequoia National Forest. We've got Kevin Elliott, who's the supervisor of the Sequoia National Forest. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
It is such a pleasure to meet you finally, right here on the air. And then I know you've been on a number of our shows on the phone with us, but, Nancy and I finally got to get into the forest, and, it was a jaw-dropping experience, the drive up, the drive back, and, going along the trail of the Giants. I mean, that was incredible, and we met Ranger Rick.
Ranger Rick.
How often do you get to meet a Ranger Rick, right?
Since I was a child, I wanted to meet Ranger Rick.
So we went out with Ann and also Nancy, one of the docents, and I thought that was pretty incredible. Do you have a lot of volunteers and docents for the National Forest?
We do have several. Nancy is Nancy is the focal point and really the champion, the creator of that whole program. It's amazing. She's even signed up, I think in the last couple of weeks, she signed up probably another half a dozen different folks to help her as docents. And our two guys, there's certainly 5,000 folks a week that experience that trail, and Nancy and her folks are a tremendous help.
Well, I have to tell you, I had one of those life journeys, life moments, and last year you had a couple of sequoia trees actually fall down, but they're joined together, is that there were two trees, and you wouldn't realize it until you actually start to get on top of one and walk it, which I did. And I thought, well, this is different than walking the plank. I'm used to walking the plank. But to get up there and realize how huge the trees were, I mean, you realize when you're standing on top of the tree looking down, like, whoa, this is pretty big. But then you get up to the roots, and you're like, holy cow, how did that happen? That took them many years, didn't it?
Well, and those two trees probably are in excess of 1,500 years old. They're 240 feet long, and at the base there, just above the roots, they're 17 feet thick in diameter.
Wow. Oh, that's big. And then the other big tree we met, and this was, talk about Mr. Big, Diva Linda. Mr. Big has some serious competition with General Sherman. We had a pleasure of spending the day with Dana Dirks from the Sequoia National Park. And Dana, we spent the entire day with you. We had a blast. It was beautiful. It was just an incredible experience. But we're not anywhere near done.
No, not by any means. We still only covered just a small section of Sequoia National Park, and there's so much more to explore, both in that park and in Kings Canyon National Park as well.
Well, we're definitely going to be back. In fact, we've got our dates pretty much marked down of when we're coming back. It'll be the first week of September, everybody, on our way back from Washington State and visiting some national parks there. So the Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Park are joined together, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then also joined together is the Sequoia National Forest and Giant Sequoia National Monument. So, Kevin, if someone drives in to any one of those regions, you can connect to the other parks and forests. Is that correct?
Correct. You can come in through, for example, you come in from the south, you come in through Bakersfield and work, and come around Lake Isabella, and through the very southernmost end of the Sierra Nevadas, and work their way up the Kern River and up through the monument, and then come back out and come up through Three Rivers and come into the parks and go through the parks, and then come back out through the north end and loop back into Fresno and come back south. It makes a pretty neat loop.
I agree. And Dana, the other thing, talking about the driving up there, one thing that we were very impressed with was the shuttle system. And I have to tell you, we left and we had a great day with you. We saw the shuttles of taking people around, and I think it's great, especially for our international visitors. But when we went to Visalia, we actually had the experience of getting on a shuttle. They met us at a hotel, the Lamplighter, at the back of there, and saw the shuttle and how it works, and it was pretty amazing. Can you explain when that started and why?
The process started approximately 6 years ago. At least the shuttle's been in operation for 6 total years. And, one of the main reasons why we'd like to go ahead and have people ride the shuttle as much as possible in the summertime is to, improve the air quality in the parks, to protect the park resources, to also provide a better experience for park visitors as well. So, again, we have 2 different types of shuttles. We have the internal shuttle, so you could drive into the park in the Sequoia National Park Giant Forest area and then jump on the shuttle to see some of the major attractions, or you could do what you had mentioned as well, which is to take the shuttle from Visalia or from Exeter or from Three Rivers into the park, and for $15 your entrance fee is also covered.
Wow.
So it's a 2-part shuttle.
Okay, so when someone comes into the national park, this is the other thing, we always talk about this, on our shows, one of the best deals on earth to me is getting that park pass and getting the one that gets you into all the parks and all, does that also include the forest too, doesn't it, in some of the areas?
It does. If you buy your pass at Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks and otherwise, basically, yes, that pass, even if you buy a week pass, basically it's either 1 day to a week pass for $20, yes, that gets you into the Giant Sequoia National Monument section of Sequoia National Forest. And so, yes, there is the interagency pass, which you're also referring to, which is the $80 pass. And that gets you into many, many, many different public lands, including your national parks.
Everybody, it's Christmas in July. It's a time.
Well, it's such a good deal.
Especially for seniors.
Yeah. Oh, seniors, $10
the senior pass
for life. I mean, come on, people, get senior.
No, we learned today it's not senior, it's seasoned.
Experienced.
Oh, okay. So, Kevin, can you tell us how big is the Sequoia National Forest? And there's 2 different entities. I think we get a little confused about a national forest being a national park. Can you explain what the national forest, what kind of experience people can have, how big it is, and include the Giant National Monument as well?
Sure. The Sequoia National Forest is 1.2 million acres, starting at the southernmost end of the Sierras, east of Bakersfield, and then going up this side of Three Rivers, and then we jump across the 2 national parks, and then we pick up another section of the forest, and it's based out of Dunlap in that part of the forest. So 1.2 million acres, and then of that, about a third of that in 2000, President Clinton, under the authority of the Antiquities Act, created the National Monument, and the National Monument makes up about 328,000 acres of the forest. And right now, in the next several weeks, we'll be completing a management plan for the Giant Sequoia National Monument, where the objects of interest, if you will, the key features, of course, is some of the things that you were able to experience this week. The giant sequoia trees themselves. There's a number of archaeological resources, cave resources. So, a lot of neat opportunities to experience both in the monument and the general forest area.
And people can go camping there. There's all kinds of places, and people can stay in Springville, or they can come out to Porterville, of course, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Lots for them to do here.
Yeah. So what would you say, Donna? The amount of people that come through Porterville as visitors, they're really on the way to the forest, or are they coming here, expecting the full experience, which is what we were happy to have. It's amazing. You can come down and have a good time downtown. You can listen to music. You have great food, shopping. You can go to the lake at Lake Success, but then go up to the forest. You could spend, I would say easily, you could spend a week in the forest.
Oh, easy.
Well, and then one of the things that we've talked a number of different times about different opportunities, and one thing I don't know if we have talked about, and something that, since I'm still relatively new to the area, something that my wife and I are going to try to get around to. There's still 9 now. We had one burn up last summer, but we've got 9 lookouts that are still active on the forest, and that was something that hopefully over the next year that my wife and I are going to try to make the rounds to all of these still standing and ongoing lookouts.
Interesting. Now, when it gets to the Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks, it's a little bit different in the experience, right? But at the same time, you're still seeing those beautiful big trees and getting out in nature. And one thing in common is bears.
Absolutely, although we searched long and hard for them, and we didn't find one the day that we were out, but they're definitely
That's
around.
You made us take our food out of the car.
As you should.
We had a plan. We did. We had a plan. And I had a plan to run when I saw the bear, and you said, no.
She was just teasing me.
I know.
Don't let her fool you. She knows better.
I know. No, if you see a bear, you stand back, and you do not run, and if you could have, what do you do?
You take a picture.
You could raise your hands above your head if you're concerned that the bear is coming towards you. But generally, they're really not coming towards you. They're there to really live. I mean, it is their home. So when we go into a national park or we go into a national forest, again, we're really going into wildlife's home. So very rarely will one approach you. However, you could be in a circumstance where one does. And if you're concerned, just raise your hands above your head, yell or make loud noises. If anything comes closer, then you would grab sticks or small stones and just toss them at the bear to let them know that you are not prey, that you're there to enjoy yourself, and you just want to let them go on their way.
That's right.
And, generally, you're really just very fortunate to, A, see a bear, and B, see a bear in a wild place doing wild bear things.
And that's
Not
how many of us have actually seen a bear in the wild?
Right.
A lot of times they're in a zoo somewhere, and you don't really, from a zoo, you can't really get the same experience as seeing them in the wild. You don't see the exact habits. A lot of times they're pacing up and down and not really living like a real bear's life. So even when you're seeing deer and, me, seeing the meadows and the flowers, there were flowers coming up to the top of my head, and I'm pretty tall. And, Nancy, the meadows, really, I just wanted to get in the middle and say, come play with me, all the animals.
It's magical. It really is. It's so beautiful. And, we can take really great pictures, but there's nothing like actually being there.
Nothing like it.
I agree.
Yeah.
The one thing, we went to the Crystal Caves, and I thought we were in the middle of a Sinbad movie. I don't know if anybody remembers those movies.
That's really
in
fun.
The caves. But that was really, really a special place to go. And I do want to tell people the hike down and up. It's fun, and you get to go past, or you're right next to a beautiful waterfall. Where is that waterfall from? What is it, from a river or?
Yeah, it comes down from the river, and it's just beautiful.
Is that the Sequoia River or?
I'm not sure about that specific location in which river that one's coming off of, but it is just beautiful, and it's a cascading waterfall. In fact, I think that's what they called it at Crystal Cave.
That's right, yeah.
Cascade waterfall, where essentially it's just coming down in various layers. So as you're coming down the trail, the waterfall is immediately on your right. Come around another bend, and it's right there in front of you.
And there's flowers everywhere.
Butterflies.
And it's shaded butterflies,
Beautiful.
flowers, and it's these huge ferns. It's just magical. So let's talk about camping, because there's camping here in Porterville, in our gateway communities for people, camping and RV and
we have
hotel.
a variety of opportunities for folks to come in and to camp if they just want to be outdoor camping, and up at Lake Success as well. And you can also bring your RVs, and there are places with and without hookups. Some people like the dry camping. And a lot of opportunities for them, and if you want to be right by the lake, and then you can just head up to your day trip up into the forest.
I think you need more than a day trip.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Well, you can spend a lot of days in the greater Porterville area.
I think also one thing that was really amazing out of both the forest and the national parks, Sequoia National Park, was that you do not have to be some fit, buff person to be able to go on these trails. It was, when we went on the Trail of the Giants, really anybody can go there. You can even, bring a stroller or someone who's in a wheelchair, right, Kevin?
It is. That's something we've spent a lot of effort in making sure that it was accessible to everyone, including folks with wheelchairs. It's a paved trail, and as the two trees that you mentioned that started to grow together that fell down the end of last September, as we wrestled through what to do, because that tree actually fell on 100 feet of the trail itself. And so one of the things that we wanted to do something sooner than later and maintain the accessibility. And so we're simply going to construct a new section of trail made out of boardwalk that stays at that same elevation and then would remain accessible to folks even using wheelchairs.
Excellent. And then people who want to go off, backpacking and things like that, maybe for a few days, are they able to do that?
They are. And dispersed camping on the National Forest is certainly allowed, encouraged. And so those kinds of opportunities, there's a lot of trail systems. And then those folks who like to adventure off the trail, those opportunities are there as well. We've got certainly within the National Forest, the Sequoia National Forest is also part of 5 different wilderness areas. And so if people really want to get off the beaten path and try things out on their own, there's certainly those types of experiences as well.
Excellent. Now, let's get to Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Park. I want to focus on Sequoia because I'm really sad that we didn't get to Kings Canyon yet. But Sequoia, there was campgrounds there, and so people can camp there. But there's also a lodge, isn't there, inside the park?
Yes, we do. In total, in Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks, we have 14 different developed campgrounds. Yes, we also do have lodging, so no, you don't have to camp to come to the park. And, of course, there's plenty of lodging in our local gateway communities as well. And in addition to that, we do have quite an amazing wilderness environment where nearly 97% of Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks is wilderness. So there's just a vast world to explore.
I saw a lot of families having fun there, little kids splashing in the streams, and it just, to me, it was like, wow, this is great. People are experiencing nature, and, you're off of your phones and getting out there. And again, when we went on the meadow, the little trail around by the museum, what was the trail? What was that, Hidden Meadow?
It was called Big Trees Trail, and it was Round Meadow.
Oh, Round Meadow. Okay, we were trying to figure out that today. But that also, any level of, ability can go on that trail.
Yeah, certainly that is a paved trail, and anybody with a stroller or young kids, fantastic opportunity to walk around the meadow. There also are some wonderful outdoor exhibits that tell you a little bit more about the parks, even if you're not with a ranger.
In the Junior Ranger program, Priscilla, our travel mascot, had a lesson on being a Junior Ranger.
She is going to become one. She has some lesson work to do.
That's right. Oh, Dana even brought her Junior Ranger pages.
Love it.
Can you tell everybody about this? Because I think all parks just about have this. National parks.
Not necessarily all, but many national parks do have a Junior Ranger program, and the ages that it's for vary depending upon the park, although even if you're an adult and you really want to be a Junior Ranger, we won't turn you away.
Yay!
So you can earn yourself a Junior Ranger badge if you do the activities, but you have to do the activities.
Okay.
I kind of see Lisa coming back to do that sometime.
It may take Lisa 3 or 4 times to finish it.
They put it under the guise of Priscilla, but I know they really want the badge.
I know,
right.
we want
That's
the badge.
Exactly it.
We do want the badge. I think Pony should go on a trail.
Yes.
I want to see that happen. Well, there's a lot of facilities in the park that I thought was amazing. I mean, we got to grab lunch there, and healthy. They had like a healthy wrap with hummus, and then you've got
it was very good.
And you had pizza. So I mean, you could go up there and not pack anything and get up there and have a good time for the day. So there's certainly all kinds of conveniences there too, which is neat.
Some of those conveniences do vary depending upon season.
Okay.
So you'll want to look ahead at our website at www.nps.gov/SEKI, or call ahead at 559-565-3. Oh, Lord. 565-3341. I was almost going to give you my direct number.
Yeah.
Call Dana.
1-800, call Dana.
Right. But you definitely check ahead because the services do vary depending upon season.
The other thing is, I know there is some construction going on in the Sequoia National Park, and it is on road construction, which is actually really fascinating what's having to happen. But again, this shows all the maintenance that's going on. We also notice a lot of maintenance happening for the forest. So these are our federal lands, whether it's the park or the forest. That this is something that we own as citizens of this country. So you always think about, okay, what's going on with our parks? It's important to keep them funded. I always have to say that. I'm never going to stop saying that. Keep them funded, right, Linda?
That is correct. And write those letters.
Write those letters.
Yes.
Right, to keep our
phone your local representative and tell them to fund the parks or we won't vote for you.
Ooh.
I can say that. I'm an American citizen.
Yes, you're right. But Dana, that construction going up is part of the maintenance, and you, as a traveler, you don't have to sit in traffic for 10 years to get into the park if you do it right.
Exactly. We do have road construction at various points in time. We just ask that you come on over to a park visitor center where we can easily help you plan out your trip, or you can go ahead and, again, check that website that I previously mentioned, or call our phone number. I'm not going to chance repeating that again and getting it wrong. But certainly give us a call, check our website, stop by a park visitor center. We can help you plan a great trip to see the highlights in a good, easy fashion. Basically maximize your fun and minimize your delays.
That's right. And Kevin, when it comes to the National Forest, is it recreation.gov? Have I got that right?
It is.
That's how you book your camping.
To make reservations. We have 50 developed sites or 50 campgrounds, and recreation.gov is a good place to go to peruse actually facilities across all federal lands, not just the Sequoia National Forest.
Okay, excellent. Now, before you both leave us, we want to know is what your favorite thing about working in the forest and the national parks. What do you like? What's that? I'm so glad that I'm in the forest. So, Kevin, what about you being in Sequoia? I know that you're pretty new to the area as well, so you're still discovering. So it's got to be really exciting.
So, and I think for Rhonda and I, my wife, that's probably the biggest thing is just the newness of it. Mm-hmm. This is the first time that we've lived here in California, and so the newness of the Sierra Nevadas, all the recreation opportunities. We do a lot of birding, and so we just spend a lot of time on the trails and off the beaten path doing birding. And like I mentioned earlier, we're anxious to find and get into all 9 of these lookouts that are still operational in the forest.
That's interesting. I think, you're going to have to give us a lookout report.
We can do that.
Yeah,
cool.
We're going to go to one ourselves.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe we can go to one.
You should take me with you.
Yeah, let's all go.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. You both work together. When it comes to the park and the forest service, you both have to work together because wildlife crosses over. They don't care, right?
Yeah, they're not reading the signs.
And I don't think as visitors we don't notice. We just go, look, there's more trees. Let's keep going. It's cool. I know they're different entities, but I think as you're traveling, you just go, wow, you can explore all of this in one trip. Kevin, you mentioned birding. Any special birds that you have seen and anything that birders should know about what kind of birds they can expect to see up there?
One neat colored one with red, yellow, black, and white. There's a western tanager.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's found in the forested area, and so that's one example. It's kind of a neat thing to see.
And there were woodpeckers all over the place too.
Mm-hmm.
Woodpeckers and the blue jays. I love the blue jays. I love those. So, Dana, for you working in the Sequoia National Park, what's your wonderful moment? Because I know you've worked all over the country as well in the National Park Service.
I would say one of the most impressive things to me is standing next to a giant sequoia tree and feeling like you're just one little tiny speck on the earth. It's just amazing to stand underneath giant sequoia trees because they are it's like a cathedral, and you're just the smallest thing on the planet. So compare yourself or look at some of the photos that have people in them related to giant sequoias, and you'll see what I mean. I also think it's just an incredible place to work.
It is. I think you've got a cool job. If I wasn't on a 5-year national tour, I'd be coming up.
I know. We were looking around and say, boy, you're surrounded in both the forest and the park. You would want to go to work every day.
Absolutely.
It's not like, you're closed in. You get to play. Of course, I'm sure you work, too.
I do want to say that, what?
We most definitely work.
When you're up there, touch a sequoia tree, not the General Sherman because he's protected, but these sequoia trees, what I found was really amazing was they're soft, the bark. It's really soft and airy, and it's kind of like, oh, I got a new friend. I found Mr. Big up there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for joining us, and thank you for hosting us for the day of the Sequoia National Park, beautiful area, and then also in the Sequoia National Forest. Thank you so much, and we'll see you back in September.
You're welcome, and it was a pleasure. Come back soon.
We are.
Bye.
First week of September, everybody. We're coming back.
Thank you so much.
See you then.
All right. Okay, so, everybody, again, when you're looking at planning your escape, go to discoverthesequoias.org. .com, and also go to, I think you can find the Sequoia National Forest on any of those websites. You can find it right on discoverthesequoias.com, also portervillechamber.org, and the Sequoia National Park, again, you can go to nps.gov. And I want to do a big shout-out because our tour really got, started because of the National Parks Conservation Association. They're our good friends who come on our radio shows all the time and keep us up to date on what's happening to our national parks across the country in regards to funding, protecting them environmentally, all kinds of issues, and they do have a number of issues. So I encourage you to go to their website, npca.org. Also sign up for their action alerts, and just keep up to date with our parks. There are parks, and the best thing is go visit them. Go visit our national forests as well. All right, now we're talking about, Sequoia National Park and the other gateway community that we just came out of. We just had amazing lunch, We just had an incredible mural tour, and that was in Exeter, California. Exeter is just so quaint. I encourage you to go there. And we've got Sandy Blankenship. She's joining us. She's the executive director of the executive. Blah, blah, blah. I have another sip of wine, right?
I was going to say, you're cut off.
She's the executive director of the Exeter Chamber of Commerce. Sandy, it's good to have you on the show, and it's been fun hanging out with you all last night and this morning and today.
Thank you. It's been a real pleasure having you here.
Well, we had a lot of fun, ladies, last night.
Oh, we did.
Yes.
We got to eat at Monet's there in Exeter. Sandy, thank you for having us there. It was fabulous.
Yeah, they did an awesome job. It's a very unique place to be, and if you haven't visited it, you need to come by and see that.
It was really beautiful. They had the room in the back. You go through the kitchen, which I think is neat. You get to see what happens in the kitchen. And you get to go in this beautiful room. And it's a private party room, right, Sandy?
Yes.
And the food. Eva, Linda, did you enjoy the wine tasting?
I did.
And the food?
I like the chef, too.
We know you like the chef.
I like the chef.
And we like
we
it
kind
because
of
he
saw
played
that.
Priscilla, too.
We saw that.
Yeah, did you?
Yes,
Yeah.
you're gaining a reputation.
Yeah, oh, well, good.
No, well.
Good. On a roll, then. That's good. That's
Many
good.
people find the diva to be very, very friendly.
Well, thank you.
She is friendly.
Thank you very much.
She is friendly, so, it was beautiful. But, Sandy, so you're on the outside of the Sequoia National Park as well. So you're only, not even 30 minutes away from Porterville.
Right. Yeah, we're about 30 minutes away at the very most,
Mm-hmm.
and we're only about 45 minutes from the entrance of the Sequoia National Park.
And a lot of people were talking about Mineral King.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's kind of the closer part for those coming in from Exeter. Can you tell us a little bit about that area?
Mineral King's a little more difficult to get to. It's a little bit of a windy road. It's beautiful up there. I've only been there once because it is a very windy road. It takes a couple hours to get into it because it's not so many miles. It's just the windy road.
I dig that, though. That's me.
Yeah.
That's my style right there.
Great
Well-
scenery. If you're looking for the scenery and the experience of the drive.
And you saw the mural today that was that depicts Mineral King, and that blue in that sky is exactly what you see.
Nice.
Because I thought, oh, that's way too blue, and they said, oh, no, that's exactly what you see. Because when I was there, it wasn't really a blue sky day. So, but yeah, it's exactly what you see. So it is really something.
I thought the mural tour was wonderful. And can you explain a little bit about how the mural tour got started?
Well, our mural project got started when we lost a building by fire in our historic downtown area, and it left a rather blighted spot in the center of town because it was like on the four corners of main downtown. So we were trying to figure out what to do with that, and some residents were vacationing, and they ran across a town in British Columbia that had murals, and they were like we are, kind of off the beaten path, not on a major thoroughfare on our way anywhere else. And so they came back, and they had murals, and it was very successful for them. And they came back, they petitioned the city council, and the city council thought it was a good idea, so they commissioned our first mural on the brick wall where the building had burned. And since then, they have made a park. They named it after the building, what was in the building at the time, Mixter Pharmacy. So it was called Mixter Park. And our first mural is the Orange Harvest.
I love that. I think what's neat is that you have the story of the town and, the history of the region when you walk around the downtown. And, Nancy, I know you're an artist, so what did you think of the murals?
I thought they were extremely interesting and very well done. Yeah, I mean, there's different techniques on each one. You can tell the personality of the artist, and you can tell their kind of familiarity with the subject that they were painting.
Well, the city brought in the gentleman that started the project up in British Columbia, and he did a 3-day seminar for the committee that oversees the murals and for the city council, and he explained all the ins and outs and how to do a successful mural project. And that was pick a theme and stay with it. And the paperwork that goes with it, you have easements with the building owners. There's a lot of legalities involved in it. It's not just come in and paint something on a wall if you want a quality program, and that's what we wanted. And so to use various artists, always use professional artists.
Yes.
And so I think ours show that we followed his guidelines, and we still do.
It's just like a surprise around every corner. Yes. And I like that.
It makes you want to walk. And I think
I
think you need to walk when you've been hanging out in these communities and eating all the fabulous food. Let me tell you, we need to walk. Diva, Linda, do you feel the same way?
I do, and I think also sometimes when you take your children on a car trip, and then maybe you go out to lunch, and then it's over with, and you get them back in the car, and they start eating sugar and so forth in the car. When you stop at a town like Exeter, what a great treat to go have lunch and then walk their energy off at each one of those murals. And I love the fact that there's a hidden something in all but, I think she said 3 this morning, is that correct? All but 3. So very family friendly, very couple friendly, just a really great program you have there. It's really something special to do, and since you have good weather, I imagine, most of the year.
We do. Sometimes it's a little warm, but we start those earlier. If we have, if we're booking a tour for someone, because we have some that are, you can sign up for a guided tour. We have trained docents, and they will take you on that, and there's a nominal fee for that, and you need to have groups of 10 or more, but you can arrange that. And we know that it needs to be in the morning in the summertime. However, this morning we had excellent weather.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was like, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And so the area is a lot, there's oranges everywhere.
Yes.
And so that's the main crop of Exeter?
Agriculture is our main business in town. And yes, and citrus is probably the largest crop we have. However, we do have walnuts, plums, nectarines, some grapes. Ooh. Yeah, we have all kinds of fruit, but citrus is our main commodity.
And you know what I noticed all throughout the town was the gorgeous flowers.
Oh, yes, it's beautiful.
Here we are in the heat of summer, and those flowers are blooming. It looks like such care has been taken to plant them in the appropriate places, and I really enjoyed the walk. I think it's flat. I think almost anybody can do it. I think if you're have somebody in a wheelchair or whatever, it's an easy walk, it's an easy push, really. I mean, your kitty cat wanted to go on the walk too.
Yes.
Kitty cat played with Priscilla. She got a little tussled.
Yes.
But it was my fault.
Yeah, you allowed it.
I pushed it. Like, here, kitty, get Priscilla.
Poor Priscilla. The beauty of our community really is a joint effort. Our city works very hard. A lot of the planters that you saw are city maintained and operated and planting the flowers, and some in front of the businesses are done by the business owners, and the tree wells are all done by the business owners. So
now that's interesting.
Yeah, and everyone has a sense of pride, and they want the community to look nice. They want their business to look nice. So it really is a group effort. When they say it takes a village, it is. It does.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I think, Diva, Linda, and Nancy, wouldn't this be the same? I mean, I really felt that everyone we met had an amazing story of something, just about their lives. And people took time to let's chat. And let's get to know each other. And I thought that was what was so amazing about this region, were the people.
Well, I found it amusing when we'd go into some shops and they weren't quite sure why I was there, but the chamber had said it was a good idea, and they were bringing some people and shake hands and say howdy, and they were just as sweet as they could be. And my goodness, great stories, every one of them. Great merchandising.
Yes. Yeah, we have some wonderful shops, gift shops, clothing shops, and you just hit very few. I think you only got to go into one or two.
I know.
Like the Mercantile, where they're almost 100 years old.
You know, that place is fascinating. One of the guys on the trip had said we have a store here where on one half of the store you can be ordering wedding china, and the other half you can go order a tractor. And I thought, oh, that can't be true. And sure enough, it was a huge building.
Mm-hmm.
and the little guy that was in the tractor section, it was like there was a line divided down the middle, and you know, he toes on the line saying, "Hi, come over here." And the wedding shop lady said, "No, come, stay over here." So it was great, really.
Yeah, and
really.
that's been owned by the same family since 1916. So it's really one of our older established.
Merchandise.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
As was each of the places we visited. Great food too. Love the food. We had great food.
And again, you just touched the tip of the iceberg.
I think this whole region is, every time I say this, I add another week. Now I'm looking at 5 to 6 weeks.
Diva, Linda keeps saying, move here. Yeah,
Goodness, people, you could move here.
Just ask you to please pick one of the 3 towns that we saw and move here. It would be so nice.
We'd have to have a diva room in a different town.
Yeah, that's right.
Somebody can live in the forest too, maybe.
That would be Priscilla.
Yes. Oh, she can swing from the Sequoias. I wanted to ask you, Sandy, also about annual events in Exeter, because I know you were talking about, we're planning our trip to come back and stay in Exeter and do a radio show from Exeter in the fall, and with the time frame we were talking, we're like, ooh, there's a bicycle race going through here, and what kind of events do you have? Do you have festivals throughout the year?
We do. We have the ones that the chamber's involved in is we have a 4th of July event. It's a arts, crafts, food type festival during the day in our city park, and then we do a garden tour in May. It's always Mother's Day weekend, and we show some of our gardens. One of our antique stores by the Water Tower Antiques, she puts on a tea that day. She decorates her beautiful garden, and it looks like an English tea. She has tulle and gazebos and chandeliers with candles in them and beautiful treats, and so she hosts that at her own expense for us each year for anyone that comes to the garden tour. And then in October we have our fall festival, and it's always the second weekend in October every year, and this year will be the 99th year.
Wow.
So in 2012.
And 2011 was your centennial, right?
It was the city's centennial. It was 100 years old, incorporated. It was incorporated in 1911.
Wow.
So we had a lot of events last year.
Wow.
In order to celebrate that. It went on all year long.
Wow.
Nice.
Sounds like fun to me.
It's almost as old as you.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. Thank you very much.
Well, that was nice to give away that.
Oh, nice. Nice one, Donette. Oh, I want to tell everyone, we've been traveling and we keep talking about Priscilla. Priscilla's our pink sock monkey. She's our travel mascot. And, of course, we do a lot of wine tasting. So, Linda Kissam, the food, wine, and shopping diva, the friendly diva, also known as the critic. Here we go. No, she's not. Diva Linda, she travels around. She loves small lot wineries, which we did visit a few, and amazing ones. But she's brought a Pinot Pony into the picture to play with Priscilla when we go wine tasting. Priscilla is a little tiny rocking horse made out of corks. And then we have Mr. Pete, who's the latest addition to the 3P family. Yes, Mr. Pete is a sock. Well, he's not a sock monkey, but he looks like one.
Well, he is. He just doesn't have a body.
He just covers wine bottles. And so he's been hanging out with us. This is his first trip with us. And you can follow them on Facebook and Twitter. If you go to @BigBlendMag on Twitter, also on Facebook, type in Big Blend Magazine, and you'll be able to follow the adventures of Priscilla and her pals and our wine tasting. And also, Linda, people can follow you on Facebook, too.
Yes, I'm going to be. Well, I've been posting a lot. I've been posting everywhere we go that has an Internet connection. So the only place that I didn't really get to post was when we were up in Three Rivers. But please look me up, and you'll see all the wonderful things that we've been doing and all the wonderful places we've been. I just want to ask one more question on the mural walk. If you did the whole thing, which we didn't have an opportunity to do, how much time would that be?
It's probably about 2 hours.
It's about 2 hours.
Because we have 29 murals. We have another one coming up in the following year. So
if I just showed up at the chamber, would there be a docent to take me?
Not necessarily. No, that needs to be set up in advance. All our docents are volunteers. They don't get paid. They come and they will give up their time to do this. A lot of them are community members. Either they're retired or they have a job that's flexible enough to allow them to do that, but they do that because they love the community.
And the cost would be?
It's $2 per person, and it needs to be groups of 10 or more.
So you won't do it for a group?
It just depends.
Yeah.
It depends on the...
call you and talk to you.
Yes. Yeah. We've been flexible on that at times.
Wow. Well, I think this is neat because that's something we've seen all throughout all the communities is the amount of volunteers and docents that just care about their community. I mean, it's like it's like this is part of it, and I want to have a good time and make sure our community stands out and is there and give people this welcome. You know, that's the amazing thing to see so many volunteers.
Yeah, and I would just want to remind everybody that just the name Chamber of Commerce generally sort of brings up visions of business. And if you're not a business person, you can't go in there, and that's not true at all. Mm-hmm. Every time you go to a place that you haven't been before, stop by the Chamber of Commerce and ask for their recommendations for lunch, dinner, lodging. We certainly had a wonderful stay last night at the Best Western. Thank you for arranging that.
You're welcome.
I liked that. I thought it was very nice.
Yes. Over the orange groves.
Yes, the orange groves. And I understand there's B&Bs here as well.
Yes,
and,
yes, we have several.
So, you know, if you're driving through and you want to know where to eat or where to shop,
we can help you with shopping, Linda.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. If we'd had more time, we would have explored a whole lot more stores.
Oh, I'm ready to come
back.
Diva
Linda, September.
But I'll be bringing some media because I think this is a place that I'll love. And you're only, maybe 25 minutes from the wineries, right?
Yes.
All right, people. You heard it here.
Well, we might be a little further than that.
Oh, but you've got a limo. Who cares?
Yeah. We're 45.
Yeah. You have a limo.
It's not far enough. It's not too far.
No. It to me, that's the thing. Every town is within like half an hour of each other, 45 minutes, but it's scenic. You're going through farm country, wineries, and I mean, today on the way, we're just seeing vineyards, and we're like, ooh, this is cool. Who doesn't like that? Sandy, what is the website for the Exeter Chamber of Commerce for people to get more information on your events and then where to stay, eat, and play? I'd want to say, everybody, Monet's, definitely go there for dinner. And they're open for lunch, too,
yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
That is an experience.
Or even if you just need a glass of wine and some dessert. I mean, I understand, you know, they have a wonderful lavender cheesecake that paired beautifully with one of our wines.
Malbec.
And the Jack Daniels? What about the Jack Daniels pecan pie?
Oh, my.
Chocolate chips. And
never had that before. It was fabulous.
And they make all of those fresh on the premises.
And the beef stroganoff that we had, the meat was so tender, you know, and just all the appetizers with the blue Stilson cheese on crostini. Oh, and the brie with lavender and shallots, sautéed shallots. Oh.
And shout out today for our lunch today, the
Wildflower Cafe.
Those salads and sandwiches were really, really good.
Yes, they have a unique ambiance being in the center of town there, and they do a great job. They have live music on Friday nights. During the spring, I think they begin in March and run through October, November. And then during our downtown open houses, the downtown merchants get together and have open house every Thursday after Thanksgiving until Christmas. And there's food, music, and lots of fun. Santa Claus is there. And there's usually some kind of ride for the children that's free. Like we've had the free antique fire truck rides, and we've had.
I want to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Wonderful. As long as Chef Fred can come along.
Yeah, there it is. He's right
Chef.
across the street.
All right. I think I'm hearing a visit also in December now.
Yeah, I'm hearing a sneaky visit by Linda to see the chef.
Truly, I think in our region area, if you think of a charming downtown, that is Exeter.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, you know, a little smaller community, and it really has that charm to it.
I know. You can just stroll and you just relax and take in the color. It's just colorful. That's vibrant. It's beautiful. Your website again?
Is www.exeterchamber.com.
All right. Nancy, did you have something there?
I was just going to say, so far in the places we've gone, I've noticed that each of the towns has its own unique personality. You know, so people might get the idea you're in a region, so you're all the same, and you definitely are not. So it's really cool. It's like, you know, going to a new place, very close to each other. I'm saying 6 to 7 weeks vacation.
All right.
Yes, and you're right. Everyone has their own characteristics and their own personality. So there's something for everyone.
Yeah, that's what
really
makes it
is.
beautiful. Sandy, thank you so much for hosting us this day and a half, and we're going to come back and spend some more time with you, and you're going to be hearing a lot more about Exeter, the Sequoia National Park, Sequoia National Forest from us. So again, ExeterChamber.com.
Yes.
ExeterChamber.com, and this is Exeter, California. That's the best place to go. So.
And when you're done, then you could try going to England.
Yeah, that's right. And have tea.
Yes. Exeter, England.
Tea with the Lord Mayor.
There it is.
Where did they say Exeter was in
New Hampshire.
Yeah, there's several within the United States.
There is one in England.
There is one in New Hampshire.
All right. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Again, ExeterChamber.com. And, of course, you're listening to Big Blend Radio live from Porterville, California. We're in the Porterville Chamber of Commerce building. In their conference room, we're drinking wine, wonderful wine here.
Yes, wine. We've got to, I think, move on to another winery pretty soon because we're still on Bella Lavina Farm. So
well, I'm ready.
We're already out. Let's have some LaBelle Winery.
Okay, LaBelle Winery.
LaBelle
and what are all these cupcakes doing here now? This is another amazing.
Yes, Crave Bakery and Cafe, where Linda and I had the opportunity to eat the other day. They snuck in with some delicious cupcakes, some chocolate cookies. I see her famous lemon cookies there, too. So
okay, we're done with the show. Let's go eat.
Bye. Sandy just dropped off a bottle of champagne. So you know what? I'm telling you, everybody, this is going to be it's going to be sounding really good by the end of the show. That's all I want to say. But of course, again, we're here in Porterville, California. Nancy and Lisa here, mother-daughter team. We're on our Big Blend Spirit of America tour. Very happy to announce this is our second stop on the tour. Our first one being the Cabrillo National Monument in San Diego. Our second national park that we're visiting is Sequoia National Park. We're going to be doing Kings Canyon and Sequoia. We've got to delve in some more there. But, of course, we've also got Diva Linda Kissam. She's a food, wine, and shopping diva travel writer. You can read her articles on VacationStationMagazine.com. Also, Eat, Drink, Be Merry Magazine.com. Go to her website, TheWineChicks.com, and also you go to thewinebuzz.com for Z's in that buzz, and we know why. So travel with her, and you'll find out why. And, of course, we've got Donette Carter, who's the Executive Director and CEO of the Porterville Chamber of Commerce, and who's put this all together as part of the Porterville welcoming us as well as the Sequoia Tourism Council, and you can find out all the information by going to discoverthesequoias.com. So it is time to talk about Tulare. We are in Tulare County, right, Donna?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and joining us is Carissa Chapman, and Carissa is on the board of the Tulare Chamber of Commerce. She is also an ag educator. Ooh, so you're going to teach us about agriculture and farming because, hey, we're going to have farm lessons, I believe, somewhere along this journey. I think tomorrow we're up for some farming. We're going to be actually visiting Tulare tomorrow, and we're going to be visiting the International Agri Center. Tell us a little bit about that, Carissa, and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I am the ag educator for the International Agri Center. And what we have at the International Agri Center, we are also home of the World Ag Expo, which is the largest annual agricultural trade show in the world. We hold it every year in February, the second week of February. As well as throughout the year, we have an Ag Ventures Learning Center and Antique Tractor Museum at the International Agri Center. So tomorrow, we will learn all kinds of things about our Antique Tractor Museum and our Learning Center, as well as we have a tour at a dairy scheduled for
we're going to go there. See, I told Diva Linda she's going to milk a cow.
Yeah, I was thinking that Lisa would milk a cow.
I want to ride a tractor.
I think we're going to have some tractors and some dairy cows, and we'll get a hayride. So
really?
We'll have lots of fun things tomorrow.
We're going to go on a hayride.
We are.
Priscilla, did you hear that?
Excellent. Change of dress.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
Change of
casual.
dress. So really, we are in California's ag country. Is this officially California's ag country?
It absolutely is.
Okay. So when we're talking about a hayride, okay, so what do you mean by that? Do we get to bring our wine? Uh-oh.
Stories about hayrides.
Yeah.
But I guess I shouldn't tell.
Uh-oh.
You'll create a new story tomorrow.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. So this is exciting. So a hayride. So are we going to be on the farm taking a hayride? Or
yes.
Is this
It'll be actually at the dairy that we're going to go visit. We're going to visit them in the morning before they start milking their cows. But it'll be about 10:30 in the morning, so it'll be right before the cows get milked. And we're going to tour their facility on the hayride.
Can I pet a cow?
You sure can.
Can I play with their big nose and go moo?
Yes.
Linda's face says, what's
matter, Diva? When was the last time you fondled a cow?
I see Linda's more the wine person. She's not sure what to do with the cow.
She's going to be here playing with the chef.
I've been looking for the gift shop. If we have a gift shop on premise, that's what I'll be looking for.
Yes, you can get some milk.
There you go.
You
know, Diva, this is an opportunity for you to expand.
Not
physically.
Yeah, I was going to say. Let's see, I did the clay thing and lost a fingernail. So I'm not sure that I may just be cheering you guys on.
We're not going to have to clean up anything, are we?
No.
Just checking.
No. This is actually at the Fletcher Dairy, and it's right down the street from the Agri Center. So it's right at their dairy nearby.
I'm excited about this. Now, the Ag Expo, I hear about this being this huge event that happens every year. Can you give us a little information on that?
Well, we just finished our 45th anniversary this last year, so now we're going into our 46th year. It started in 1968, and over the years it has become the largest annual agricultural trade show in the world. And people from all over the world come and visit us. This last year we had over 70 countries come and visit us, over 1,000 international attendees. Everybody comes to look at all the latest and newest technology in the agriculture industry is right here in Tulare.
Wow. It is such a tremendous event. Not only does it fill the hotels in the entire Sequoia region in Tulare County, it fills hotels up and down the Freeway 99. I mean, just an incredible event that brings people into the area.
So this is a lot of people that are in the agricultural industry will come out. And then what about the general public, like someone like me who has no clue how to milk a cow yet?
Anybody can find something at World Ag Expo. It's all about agriculture, but as well we have a Farm Home Arts Pavilion, we have World Ag Women Pavilion, so we have something for everybody. We have chefs come and talk about they do different cooking demonstrations. We have a wine and cheese pavilion.
Okay, Diva Linda.
We do. We have everything because even wine and cheese, it shows how it's back, shows the history of where it comes from in the agriculture industry. So we have something for everybody.
And then when we're talking about the International Agri Center, this is something that the public can come to? Okay, so what's the experience like for them, and what's going to happen to us tomorrow there? Just checking in on us.
The International Agri Center is actually a nonprofit organization that was started in 1976, and we have a facility on site that we do rental facilities, as well as our Ag Ventures Learning Center and Antique Tractor Museum. Again, as you mentioned earlier with the volunteers, without our volunteers, we wouldn't have been able to be where we're at today. We have over 1,200 volunteers that work the World Ag Expo, and as well as with our board of directors, and all of our volunteers help us. So at the International Agri Center year-round, we have a museum where we have antique tractors and different agricultural equipment there on site for people to see. We have our oldest tractor is an 1895 steam engine, all the way to a 2011 current tractor. So we show how tractors have progressed with the newest technology over the years. And then we have an Ag Ventures Learning Center, which is an interactive hands-on exhibit for people of all ages to come and see, and we do a lot of field trips for the elementary school-age children throughout the school year.
Oh, cool. So Priscilla's going to have something to do at the center?
Yeah.
She wants to sit in a tractor.
We definitely have tractors.
Priscilla. Oh, and Pinot Pony, do you have something for horses?
Yes.
That drink wine?
Wine-drinking ponies?
Well, they could take them to the cheese and wine booth, right? But horses don't like cheese, but he likes wine.
That's where Mr. Pete goes.
Yeah, Mr. Pete goes there, and then Priscilla will just, she gets the whip, the bull whip. She can just take care of them from there.
Wow.
So Tulare, so let's talk about the visitor experience coming to Tulare. How far are you from the forest and the parks? Do a lot of people come through there to get there?
Yes. At the International Agri Center, we also have tenants in our building, and we house the California Welcome Center.
Oh, okay,
so right
wonderful.
there in our facility. So we receive a lot of visitors that come off the freeway, and they visit the California Welcome Center there. And the great thing about Tulare is we're right in the middle of everything. We're 45 minutes from Fresno, about an hour from Bakersfield, Yosemite, Pismo Beach areas, about 2 hours. So we're right in the middle of Central Valley.
And do you think it's very important that people come to see something like this? Because I think a lot of us in cities, we get so busy with our day-to-day lives. We're attached to our phones, our computers. that we forget, wait a minute, where does this apple come from? You know, where do the grapes come from, you know, for the wine? You know, so
I know where they go.
Yeah, I know what happens to Nancy and Lisa when we travel around. But so when you go out into the farms, do you think people get that connection and then will appreciate their food a little bit more?
That's what we're hoping for. We're really wanting to teach people that ag literacy of where your food comes from, you know, that whole farm to fork experience.
Okay, excellent.
We actually talk about how Tulare County feeds America.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And the world, too. We have people who ship, you know, all the time across the world.
Is there any growth in the organic movement that you've seen in Tulare County? Any more, you know, any farmers that are going more organic with things or not?
I would say so. Definitely the organic industry has taken its toll in the last couple years. I think more people are going into that direction. Mm-hmm. With World Ag Expo, you definitely see the more imports and exports going across on a global basis.
Interesting. So a lot of people come here just to find out what's going on. We're in the heart of it all.
We get people all the time who come into this region area and are asking, what kind of tree is this? What kind of tree is that? What's growing over there? What's that crop? You know, just mesmerized by all that they see and all of the agriculture. And truly, we are, you know, the heart of what feeds America.
Wow. So, Carissa, I want to ask you, when you have a weekend off, okay, what would you do in Sequoia region and Tulare? What would you do for fun for the weekend?
You know, I think people always say the things that you have right in your backyard you really don't take advantage of, and I have to be one of those that say I love just being able to take a trip to Three Rivers or up to the mountains and just getting a nice experience getting out. We do have the heat, unfortunately. Last week,
I think we have you beat with heat
yeah.
on. Yeah.
You know, last week we
what
did
you
hit
call
our
heat
triple.
is nothing.
I'm sure. So, you know, but like I said earlier, we're right in the middle of Central Valley, so we have things so close to us, right in our backyard, just an hour, 2 hours maybe at the most to go anywhere.
All right. And what's the best website for people to get involved and be able to know where the California Welcome Center is, also the International Agri Center, and then the Tulare Chamber of Commerce? What are the best websites?
The Tulare Chamber of Commerce is tularechamber.org.
Okay.
International Agri Center is also internationalagricenter.com. And the California Welcome Center is Sequoia Valley. The Sequoia Valley. They just recently changed their website. I believe it's sequoiavalley.com.
And then everybody, again, if you go to discoverthesequoias.com, you'll be able to connect with absolutely everybody. And I think that's wonderful because we need that. We need simplicity, especially me and my blonde brain.
We have a very nice collaborative. If you go to that website, you will get a copy of our online, our Sequoia Visitor, but from there you just click on to any of the communities that make up the Sequoia region. It's so easy to do.
Wonderful.
That makes it so easy to plan a really 7 to 8 week vacation.
That's right. That's right. Well, Carissa, we're really glad you could join us today here in Porterville. So we'll see you in Tulare tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yay! Great. We're going to go play in the cows, and then Linda's looking at me going, well, this is going to be different.
It will be good for you.
I'm sure it will.
There's cheese and wine
for those
involved.
boots.
I was going to say.
And what about, is there shopping in Tulare?
There is. We do have the Tulare Outlet Mall right off the Highway 99. And we also have a few of our stores downtown Tulare, which you guys will be visiting tomorrow.
Yay. Okay, there you go.
Is that shopping plan?
Is that going to be before or after we smell like cows?
Don't worry, in Tulare they're used to it.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's agriculture around here.
Well, let me tell you, I've been drooled on by a camel, and anything, I swear, I walked into, I cleaned it off, I walked into a casino that was full of smoke, and people still could smell me. So I don't think cows are as bad as camels.
I don't know.
I won't go
find out.
I've never been slobbered on by a camel, so I
did.
I had by a cow.
I loved it, though.
One would like to ask,
camels.
what were you doing?
I was playing with camels. I love camels. Okay.
Alrighty then.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Carissa. We'll see you tomorrow.
Great, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit further about Porterville in a few seconds, also the Sequoia National Park and Sequoia National Forest, of course, and we're going to talk about Three Rivers, which is at the base of Sequoia National Park, also Visalia, that we were there yesterday, had a great time in the downtown district. We had more great food and wine and actually some beer as well, some craft brew. We're also going to talk about Dinuba, and we're going to talk about some music, and we're going to get to some wine. But, of course, this is part of our Spirit of America tour. Nancy and I are a 5-year national tour to all 397 national parks And while we're there, we're going to be talking about all the gateway communities on our Big Blend radio shows and in our Big Blend magazines. I encourage you to go to BigBlendSpiritOfAmericaTour.com. Also go to BigBlendMagazines.com. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook. Go to Big Blend Magazine on there, and also you can follow us on Twitter at Big Blend Mag. But because it is our tour show here in Porterville, our second stop on our 5-year tour, we're going to play our tour song thanks to John Roniger, incredible musician. His song is called My Favorite Bridge. It was inspired by a national park that he visited in South Carolina. And here it is. Don't forget, you can go to his website. Go to johnronigermusic.com, and that's Jon for John. It's johnronigermusic.com. Here it is, My Favorite Bridge.
To check how thin the ice is. I just skate a figure 8 until I fall right in. You can't get what you want without taking any chances. Sometimes you got to go for a swim, and I'm keeping my head above water. Black ice stuck to my skin. I ain't looking for a safe landing. Wanna jump off my favorite bridge, go where the river goes, right until it ends, just like a summer day when I was a kid. Never been the one to see the cards face value. I wanna see what happens when I go all in. Now I've been told it's not the most practical. Go big or go home, that's what I say. And I keep my head above water, like ice stuck to my skin. I ain't looking for a safe landing. I wanna jump off my favorite bridge, go where the river goes, right until it ends, just like a summer day when I was a kid. I am the eyes of the walking dead, dying noon to 9 with a pistol in my hand. Stand toe to toe with the devil myself. Can't say that I liked it. He just stood there with his cigarette as I lay on the carpet and bled. Keeping my head above water, like ice stuck to my skin. I ain't looking for a safe land, and I wanna jump off my favorite bridge, go where the river goes, right until it ends, just like a summer day when I was a kid. I wanna go where the river goes, right until it ends, just like a summer day when I was a kid. Oh, now floating down the river, floating down the river. That thing, I'm gonna do that thing.
All right, that was My Favorite Bridge, our tour song for our Big Blend Spirit of America tour across the country, visiting all 397 national parks. That was by John Roniger. Again, visit him at johnronigermusic.com, and that's Jon. We are live from the Sequoia region. We are in Porterville at the Chamber of Commerce building with Nancy and Lisa, the mother-daughter team publishers of Big Blend magazines. We are also with Linda Kissam, the food, wine, and shopping diva and travel writer, and Donnette Carter, who is the CEO and executive director of Porterville Chamber. Before we continue with our show, we have a special announcement. Happy birthday, Steve! And a big salute from La Belle Winery, because we're drinking this special wine, and it's very hard to find. I'm going to see if I can pronounce this. Steve, we're going to have to find a bottle of this for you because, unfortunately, we're giving you your birthday toast, but we're drinking your birthday wine.
Your birthday gift.
And it's wonderful, Steve.
It's Terradego wine?
Close.
Okay, Diva Linda's going to have to take care of me on this one. But it is a special wine. It is actually their very first wine that they actually got the vineyards on their property at La Belle Winery in Terabella. And we're very honored to be able to drink this. It's beautiful. Definitely something different. So, okay, we're going to talk about Porterville. Porterville, California. This is where we, Donette has been on our show for over 5 years now. We've been covering Porterville, and it is such a beautiful community to actually spend time in. Finally we got to spend some time again. Not enough time, but let's run through it again for any listeners that have just joined us, Donette. In regards to Porterville, you are at the base of the Sequoia National Forest.
We are. It's just a lovely drive up there as well. To get up there, we are definitely a gateway community. We have wonderful opportunities for lodging and restaurants. Fill your tank when you're here too. Your stomach tank. You can fill your gas tank.
No kidding, right?
You can fill. Well, actually, you probably will be filling our banks when you're shopping because we have some great boutique shopping here as well. And just a great community. We just celebrated our sesquicentennial in 2011.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Hey, I practiced on that for a year, so I'd be sure to have it down for
Say it again.
Sesquicentennial.
All righty.
And Porterville is very deeply rooted in history and in music. Those are some of the things that really stand out in our community. We have award-winning bands. Our community supports those. We have Menachie High School and Porterville High School bands, the two traditional ones, and then we also have the influx of our other high schools that we have that have come on and as well. And music really is a theme that is felt throughout the Porterville community as well as other arts. So we have, the visual arts. You can come into our area. We have some of the murals as well. We actually, which you ladies had a chance to view, have a 100-foot mural that with the whole preparation of the mural, and it's a two-sided mural. It's called the Time Marches On mural, and it is dedicated to that history of music within our community. It sits in Centennial Park, which is right in the heart of downtown Porterville. That's where we have our Music on Main Street concert series in the fall and the spring, and it's a great community gathering place. It's also where Hoagie's Heroes, one of our favorite restaurants, that did our picnic lunch for us for the wineries.
You know what? That was wonderful.
Yes,
you know what? And I think it's so great that, you have that downtown experience where you can go to a restaurant, but then you can hop in a limo, or you can take yourself there, But I think the limo experience through the farmlands and the vineyards is a whole other thing that everybody must do.
I want one for the whole tour.
Yes, I know. I'm like, come on now. We want the limo for the tour, thank you. Or the party bus. How about that?
Oh, no, that's good.
Oh, yeah, with the stripper pole. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Oh.
I mentioned that. Oh, okay.
Steve and Linda's getting friendly.
Well, we'll have to see if Kip Fowlard of Golden Touch Limousine might arrange for that party bus on your next trip to our area.
But we went picnicking at the wineries. We went to Las Flores Winery. That's where we had our picnic with Hoagie's Heroes.
And we visited Bella Livina Farms, who will be joining us on the show later, and also La Belle Winery. And we have more wineries on the horizon in Terabella, and Terabella is one of our outlying communities. It's only about 10 minutes from Porterville.
And the other thing is, we're talking about food and wine. The Mexican food that we have had over these last few days too has been outstanding. I know we're big Mexican food fans, all of us, I think. And El Tapatio, can we just everybody
tell them about the El Tap Margarita Special.
How do we explain that? It is one big monster margarita.
It's like 32 ounces plus.
Plus, you get a floater, and the floater.
I beg your pardon. Oh, good.
Well, I had a regular margarita, and then a Corona, a little dinky Corona floating on top. And Diva Linda, what did you have?
I had a strawberry margarita with
the Smirnoff.
Yeah, that was really good. Not overly sweet, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Very refreshing. It wasn't real hot that day, but it was probably in the low 90s, I would guess. And it just went really well with all the Mexican food. Of course, halfway through, anything's going to go well with it because
Well, it was a fun. That was how we, when we arrived. That was the first place we stopped.
Yes.
El Tapatio, and they've got more locations as a family restaurant.
Yes, they do, and it's a long family history of the business as well, and just a great variety of foods that they provide.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that margarita, the first time when I was in town and went and ate there and saw that, I thought, what is that? I've never seen anything and like that, but sure is wonderful. And
it's
a very popular place. It's actually one of those places where whenever someone's coming back to town to visit, be it that they are family members or they grew up here, everybody says we have to go to El Tap and eat. And they also have that special mole that's more on the sweet side of a mole. It's very unusual
Italian.
and very, very good.
Yeah, it's like Italian and Mexican mixed together. Nancy, you had the big margarita, the Midori margarita, but for food-wise, I mean, you had a big plate of food.
Mine was not near. You had the world's biggest burrito.
And it was amazing.
I wish everyone could have been there to see Lisa's eyes open that wide and
I
her jaw
was like, you've got to be kidding it. And I was texting photos to friends and, co-host the David Bully Bowers was like, how can you be doing that without me? Global Henry had to get his text photos of this, and they're not very happy about us having so much fun without them, I don't think.
They can come on the next trip.
We're just going to have a big party up here. But
they'll just have to get on the party bus. Come on, guys.
Well, the party bus, what about the lunchbox?
That
was
fun.
I mean, when was the last time anybody went to a diner and the waitresses are dressed up in the 40s, 50s, where it's all the way to the 60s, and you have a jukebox and you have food named after the king, the Buddy Holly, and they had some. And the food
I had the
was
Buddy
good.
Holly.
How was Buddy?
I like Buddy Holly.
Linda, what did you have?
I had the pastrami sandwich, and I thought it was just, but I was thinking it didn't have a name other than the pastrami sandwich, but it didn't need a name. It was just fabulous. It was really, really good. And garlic fries. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the garlic fries. I had the sweet potato fries and the King Kong, which is the chili burger, and just wonderful. And we were so excited, too. They do have regular concerts that they do out in the parking lot. You can actually sit and have your meal in the parking lot. They'll serve you out there and hear the music, and I know the band's going to be here.
Yeah, Pete Grant is going to be on the show in a second. He is from the Stepsons, an incredible blues band. I walked up and I said, you got that Peter Green sound, and he's like, well, I used to work with him, Great stuff. So it was a blast. But Diva, Linda, tell us a little bit about your experience, because Nancy, while we were here in Porterville, we went off and did the National Forest for the day. So I know we're going to be doing a paranormal experience in the Zalud House tonight, but tell us a little bit about your experience, Diva, Linda.
First, let me give a shout-out to the 3 wineries that we went to. I've been to an awful lot of wineries, and I really like these. They're beautiful wineries. They have great wines. Everybody should come up here. They're close together, so that's really nice. And then you can go downtown for lunch if you like or whatever. But we went to a bakery called Crave, which had a beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful baked goods and wonderful lunch items. It was absolutely great. We went to a gift shop, which was fabulous, and several other places that one after the other, which was just absolutely fabulous. I think you could just sort of park your car and just have a really, really wonderful time. Went to an art association, very large facility now. I think, if I'm not incorrect, she said 4,000 square feet. It could be wrong, but I think it's pretty darn large. And purchased some things myself there, and those ladies worked really, really hard. So I think, all in all, I went to a quilt place today and a dress shop, and, there's just a variety of things that are well done. The people are really, it's fresh merchandise. They all seem to want to make sure that if you've been there last week, it's not the same as when you come in this week. That includes the food, that includes everything. So, really good experience. This is a great place just to park your car and walk around, and the lodging is really reasonable too, easy. And I think we stayed at the Holiday Inn Express. I got to chill out in the pool. That was wonderful, and nice reception area. And so so we like Porterville a lot. We went to the Orange Works. That was a great experience. That's where you get a sandwich and ice cream as a duo. And there was especially the orange ice cream was absolutely fabulous. So these are all really special places. They're not chains. At least I didn't go to any chains. They were all mom and pop owned, and the owners on site willing to talk to you about their passion and why they do what they do and how they do it. And, I'm impressed. I think you can do a lot of holiday shopping here as well. And the big thing is everybody gift wrap.
Yes, they gift wrap for
we
you.
all need that.
Of our local stores.
Is Mr. Big enough, Linda?
As long as I don't take anybody with me, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Nobody fits in the car now.
Yeah.
There goes
All
Ellen.
over shopping.
nobody go with me because I'm going to be filling up my car. But really, really special places, each one of them. The food is good. The wine is excellent. So I don't think people really quite understand just what a treat it is. It's 3.5 hours, easy hours from L.A. I'm from Temecula, so it was almost the same distance, and come from San Diego or north or whatever. And if you've been there, done that to some of the larger wine regions, Santa Barbara, Temecula, San Diego, of course, has a ton of wineries now. Certainly. Northern California, come down here for a couple of days at least, and one day visit the wineries and have wonderful dinner and lunch and so forth, and you can do that for a couple of days, shop, and I think you'll really be happy. This is a great destination for couples, singles, and that's a good point. You can come here by yourself if you just want some me time, alone time. You could stroll around, feel perfectly safe. It'd be just great. Park your car. You don't need a significant other to enjoy this stuff. You don't. You do not.
Ellen, you're in trouble. I'm just saying. She's looking at the chef, and you're in trouble.
And Linda, what was your special? What did you get to do at Stafford? Stafford's famous chocolate.
The chocolate. So pastry chef. Once again, I got to hook up with a pastry chef, and he taught me how to fluff strawberries.
She's a fluffer.
I'm a fluffer. And he didn't like the fact that I have long nails, and that was...
Well, you got rid of one when you played clay, so,
Clay, yeah, so it's gone. But it started with... So I got to learn how to dip strawberries. He was incredibly kind and enthusiastic, let's put it that way. So when my first attempt was rather large, not quite as sleek as they're supposed to be.
She's a big dipper.
Big dipper, that's what they say. However, my second one I was able to decorate quite nicely, but so that was wonderful. Great chocolates, my gosh.
That was, what I enjoyed was the pairing from La Belle Winery with the truffles, the lavender truffles and the chocolates. That was an incredible experience.
Well, I have to say, I'm a fan of the Ooey Gooey.
Oh, that's
the Ooey Gooey bar.
Ooey Gooey bar. Delicious. They make their own marshmallow, and then
I tried being pushy. I tried being nice. I'm like, come on, tell me what's in it.
I want to say thank you to them over there for all signing the 8 Keys of Excellence and our national tour pledge form. And if you go to BigBlendSpiritOfAmericaTour.com, you'll see our pledge form to keep and support our national parks and also live the 8 Keys of Excellence. You'll find all about it. Find out all about it if you go to our website. But I want to say thank you to them because they are living the integrity key, which is in business. And I think that is something we've seen in these towns that we've been visiting, like Porterville. Everybody is so true to their soul and what they're doing, and friendly and caring
Special
about
people.
their products. Caring. They just have this amazing caring about them, and they want to chat and talk to you, find out who you are. It's kind of like being in the South in a way, Linda, don't you think?
Well, it is.
It's not like California, what people think.
No. I was waiting for, when I went to the South, I remember asking for directions, and there was no giving directions until they found out who your people are. So, where are you from? Who are you visiting here? Why are you here? How can I help you? But not directions yet, because you can't go. You got to visit. You have to visit a while. So I sort of had the same feeling here. Just really, really wonderful people. I loved hearing the stories of why they opened the shops or did what they did, and or why they even took over the same shop as somebody else and continued the same vision with maybe adding some new things. It's all very exciting. Really, very actually excited to go home and write these stories. I think it's going to be fun.
I know. We've got a lot to write. Nancy, you got a lot of video work to do, that's for sure.
I think we should just keep on moving.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go home and work.
No, we want you to share more.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm happy to do that.
And Dawnette, the one thing is, you were talking a little bit about, we did a video with you today, and we're talking about the patriotic and the pride in this country and in this town, because I think that Porterville represents this country very well. That you know what I mean? It's, you talk about the Veterans Parade, and your Vice Mayor was telling us an incredible story about the patriotic support, and it's even beyond the patriotic side. I think sometimes we talk about patriotism and everybody has their political stuff. Let's go beyond that. This is about human beings caring for human beings in their communities, their friends, their family, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Actually, from the patriotism side to just what Porterville does to help its own. We are an all-America city, and one of the ways that you gain that recognition, too, is that if you see challenges or you see people in need in your community, you take on those challenges, you resolve the issues, you work to help each other. And one of the things I was most impressed with when I moved to Porterville and took this position 15 years ago was the amount of nonprofits and good works organizations that are in our community that continually step forward, and the people in the community who financially support those groups as well as put in their sweat equity, as we call it. The organizations come out to help, and we even saw so many people affected when the couple times we've had a freeze, that they were assisted. People stepped forward immediately to help, but then those folks, when they heard of other catastrophes, even outside of our area, when Hurricane Katrina happened, they said, who's going to spearhead something? We need to come help those people too. So Porterville cares about helping its own people in the community, but we also are worried about everyone else too.
And tell them how many churches there are here.
Oh yeah, we have a church on every corner. We have a lot of churches in our community. It definitely is a community that offers a lot of religious options. I mean, a lot of different churches.
Options,
very spiritual community. You don't always plan things on certain nights when you know activities are going to happen, because you know that the churches are important in the lives of people within our community. So our churches, our nonprofits, our schools, and our businesses. It all bleeds through the entire community. And then again, the patriotism. We have a whole park that is dedicated in honor of veterans who have made the ultimate sacrifice, as well as all veterans who have served and continue to serve. And sadly, we actually just lost our third soldier in the war, and I know that's being the celebration of his life and his service is happening next week. And when we had the last one, it really literally closed down the community. It was hours to get from one point to the next in the community, because businesses closed, schools closed for session. Everybody came out to honor the last young man, and I know that's going to happen again. Sadly that we have that happen, but there is a respect that's paid to everyone.
That's wonderful. It's beautiful and it's sad. But this area is about heart.
It is.
And
it really is.
That's
the
the
heart.
point. And it really is. And before we move on to Three Rivers, which is another special place.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful place. Donette, everybody can go to portervillechamber.org.
Yes, portervillechamber.org, and you can also reach us through Discover the Sequoias too. So check us out, come visit the community, and of course the Chamber of Commerce, as we were just talking, come to the Chamber. We're happy to help you plan your trip.
And writers that are listening, you can call Donette and she will help you plan a press tour.
Yes.
Although you should be coming with me when I come back. But
go with Steve or Linda too. Yeah.
Come with Linda, it's a lot more fun.
Donette's saying, we want to go play again. And of course, they have amazing events every year, from the Iris Festival in the spring, an incredible Veterans Day parade. You have, all kinds of events.
Yeah, we have the Firefighters Association does a chili cook-off. We have a Cinco de Mayo celebration, Bandorama. I mean, it is one event after another. Anyone who says I can't find anything to do in Porterville, I honestly wonder which hole they live in, because I'm like, you have to crawl out, because there's so much stuff to do in this community.
Well, alrighty then.
Music events,
get out of
family
under your
events,
rock, right?
get out, come out, and experience
boogie.
the area. And we love visitors into our area.
And it's a great place for alternative artists.
Yes,
a lot of different art. Yes.
Well, that brings us to Three Rivers.
Yes,
and our next
segue.
guest, I know, it's art. You think about nature and art, and Leah Lonnie is joining us next, and she is the director of the Sequoia Foothills Chamber of Commerce in Three Rivers, California, and Three Rivers is at the base of the Sequoia National Park. And Leah, number one, I think all of us want to thank you for hosting us at your beautiful B&B.
You're welcome.
And it was,
welcome.
when we talk about heart, and I think that's exactly the same thing we experienced with you and your B&B at your home, and also going and just hanging out with you and your wonderful husband, and just the experience was an experience. I know Linda got to have a bit more of fun with you than we did, but we also got to experience what your guests experienced, which is the national park as well.
Yes, thank you. We really loved having you.
We had a lot of fun. We played
really
tea party with Priscilla.
Yeah, we did.
We were like, wow, this is cool.
With that wild plum cordial, yes.
Okay, this is
that is good stuff.
Let's talk about that wild plum cordial because, this is the thing. We were talking about fruit and agriculture, but this is it. Everywhere you turn, this is the season, man. You get amazing fruit in this region. But I think that's what it really dawned on me was, here it is, you got this beautiful gift basket, and there's fruit, and there's plums and peaches, and just amazing, the plums. I'm a plum addict. And then we go out to dinner. Where did we eat dinner?
Casa Mendoza.
That was
Casa
wonderful.
Mendoza.
That was a wonderful.
That's a new Mexican restaurant in town, and she's doing a great job.
Yeah, she is. It was yummy.
Yeah. That was wonderful. And then we came back to your B&B, and we tried your plum cordial. So explain your plum cordial. I think that put us to sleep quite well.
That was wonderful.
That was a cozy dream.
Well, we have so many plums, and this is a delicious wild cherry-like plum.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to think what to do with it. I already make cobblers with it, and yogurts and muffins, and I was going, what next? We make preserves. Yes. Hot fruit compote.
Yes.
For your pancakes and your French toast. And then we thought, what about some kind of a liqueur? And we both of us remembered country liqueurs growing up. And this one is made with vodka to try to keep it a real clean taste. And I use the same plum mixture that I use in my cobblers and my yogurts, and the same recipe. And it turns out well. Peter strains it when he serves it for you guys, but I like to drink it where I can still feel the plum in there.
Oh, unfiltered.
See what a little vodka can do?
So the one thing is that I thought was really neat is your B&B is actually along the river's edge, and it seems like Three Rivers kind of the community is kind of everybody has their homes or their businesses according to what the river says to do.
Yes, we follow the forks of the river.
Yeah,
and there are 3 forks of the Sequoia River in Three Rivers. There are a couple of more forks, but those are in the park.
Okay. I think we found those. We saw waterfalls and all kinds of good stuff there.
I'm sure you did.
So your experience was more of the art, Linda.
Oh, I'll tell you what. So I've been telling them they need to move up here, but I want to move to Three Rivers.
Well, we're coming back in March. Is it March 31st, 2013?
The last Saturday in March. That's right, for the bathtub race.
We're doing the bathtub
we've
race.
Decided
it's
we
official.
have to do it.
That's great.
Wow. So that's our art.
You guys are going to have a lot of visits here in the next 6-8 months.
I know, but we have the whole
so much to do.
There is. I know. We're going to keep you busy in every community.
But you are on our path for all these national parks across the West Coast, and there's we have to come through here everywhere we go.
So we love it. Us a lot.
That's great.
We
We're
have
going to take
to.
advantage of it.
We get to.
Yes.
So I would say for art lovers or anybody who's interested in art or likes to surround themselves with art, Three Rivers is a really wonderful place to go. There's also a lot of surprises. There's a wonderful chocolate shop there. There's a Reimers. I think that's Reimers. And there's a wonderful place that we had lunch, and that was Ann Lang's Emporium. Is that correct? Which also included, it was a great country store, and it also included herbs and tea. And my friend Carmen is listening. She'll be all excited when I bring her up here as a writer.
Hi, Carmen.
Yeah, she'll see all the.
Priscilla says hi.
Yeah, she'll love that as well. And the tour that Leah took me on was absolutely fabulous. We started with a couple who lives, whose studio is in their home, and it's called Spirit Hill. And we got to see the husband's meditation garden.
Yes, Bruce Keller's meditation garden with those chimes.
With those, I've never heard anything like these chimes ever. It just the auditory clue to relax was just, and then obviously the visual clue after that, and then Shirley's right.
Shirley Keller's studio.
Her studio and her art. You just have to see it. Affordable art too. I want you to let you know that this is affordable art done with everyday things, and really just quite an experience. And I believe you can. The thing that everybody was so excited about was First Saturdays.
Yes. In fact, Shirley's in charge of First Saturday now.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. It's like an art festival. It's a fun day for the community, and we have so many artists in Three Rivers. Can't even count them all. And what they do is either they open their studio or they put some of their art in a business along the highway, and they offer light refreshments, There's music, games, surprises, and it goes on all day. And this is the first Saturday of every month. So the artists challenge themselves each time with a new theme to come up with something different for their guests, and we just love it.
And
my husband and
I know they just get so into it. There's signs out and so forth. So I got to see probably 4 of those stops. The one was the Spirit Hill. The other was the Colors Art Gallery, which has just been taken over by Justin, I believe.
Jeremy,
right. And beautiful, more contemporary, I think, kind of colorful art, which was, once again, affordable. And I just love it. I love to hear, as Jeremy was talking about, how much art is actually sold to all the tourists that come through. And, of course, go to Leah's house and you'll see where all the art is. It's around.
I try to get samples. I want it all, but there's not enough room in my house or our B&B for all of it.
She was ordering stuff as we were going along. I mean, really, super, super nice. I love the art co-op. I love co-ops anyway. So there are, 27 artists in that, and they just got a bigger space and displayed beautifully. And I got a bracelet there that was quite wonderful. If I'd had Mr. Big, my SUV, I would have done that party glass thing, which I thought was which I just thought was absolutely wonderful.
That was Kim Elliott's the party glass.
Yes. It was just, and I bought Christine's bracelet, correct?
Yes.
So you can drop some money there, and it's all good. It's wonderful. Who was as cute as can be is Nady Spencer, and the thing I liked the best about hers was that she has recipe cards that are actually like greeting cards, but they have these beautiful recipes with gorgeous photographs.
Yes.
Each one is different, and they're all vegan, right?
Right.
Every one is vegan.
Oh, I would like that.
You would like that a lot. If I can find one, I might let you have one.
She takes so much time setting up, her photograph on the cover to entice you in, and then the recipes inside.
Ooh.
Yeah, and she does a different one each first Saturday.
So there's Leah and I saying, do this with this, do that with it, and we should be selling this. And she's an artist. She's just going, but I have other plans. I want to do other things. And we're going, no. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. My guess is at each stop they kept saying, well, Leah said to do this, and Leah said to do that. So you must be, the one that's poking them to go forward.
Oh, no, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
No, literally. I didn't say a word.
Yeah.
I just, last first Saturday, I said, we have a visitor coming to town, and she's into art. Who will be open on a Tuesday to greet her? And that's it. Colors, Jeremy said, I'll open up. I'll be here. The co-op said the same thing, and they made sure they had 3 artists there in case you had questions. Spirit Hill, Shirley and Bruce Keller said they would be there. No, I didn't tell him anything. Nady had been doing a mural, and she just finished, so she managed to get back to her studio in time to talk to you, whatever you had to talk about.
It was wonderful.
Oh, and we added Clancy Barlow.
Yes,
remember?
Was interesting. Yes.
And he was totally unprepared as well.
We just got in. Hello, we're here.
Well, isn't that what it's like in these kinds of communities, these smaller communities? It's more down to earth. And I think that's the point of it. I mean, with you, Leah, and being in Three Rivers, it's more down to the river. But it is such a beautiful region. I wanted to skip ahead a little bit to the national parks experience as well, because that's where a lot of visitors come. And don't you think that goes hand in hand with art, the national park, the nature, and the visitor experience, the whole thing?
And Dana Dirks, our park information officer, is very much into art. So she's a really good connection. She serves in an advisory capacity on the Sequoia Foothills Chamber of Commerce in Three Rivers, and she's big into art. So we love having her.
We had such a wonderful day with her too. And the park is what? It was 10 minutes, I think.
Something like that. I mean, from Three Rivers Bed and Breakfast, it's maybe 10 minutes or so. 15, straight down the highway. That's it. You're in the park.
And your B&B is wonderful, too. I mean, and you've got a jacuzzi for people to sit outside, but you need a lifeguard, right?
Yeah, and a
pool. And wonderful breakfast, and just wonderful conversations. And they play the best music in there.
Oh, fun music. And you know what I like is when you were talking about the people that live there want to be there.
Oh, yes.
They haven't sort of just been dropped there
No.
because they had to be. They actually want to be there.
Right. A lot of them searched it out and found this, beautiful place in the country right at the foot of the parks. And we appreciate the fact that we're there. Our water comes from the park. Our river comes from the park. And I'm still, to this day, it's like I get up in the morning and I go, do I really have a place on the river?
Right.
Am I really on the river? Yes, I am.
Awesome.
Cool. Yes.
So what's the best website for, because you have so many events and, for a small community, it's amazing. You have a lot of events like, hey, everybody, seriously, the bathtub races, it's cool. They have a polar bear dip in January 1st, it's a great place. What's the best website for people to get visitor information for Three Rivers?
ThreeRivers.com.
ThreeRivers.com, the word spelled out?
Right.
And then for your B&B?
ThreeRiversBedandBreakfast.com.
Very difficult. ThreeRivers.com, ThreeRiversBedandBreakfast.com, and again, you can go to DiscoverTheSequoias.com to find out information for the whole region. But such a pleasure.
Where else can you be greeted at your car with a woman saying, "Give me food in that car"? Where's the food? We're going to take all the food out.
I know. Because the bears don't know property lines.
Right. You made me take my science experiment out of the car.
Yeah. Anything that smells.
I've had a science experiment of a McDonald's fry that has been sitting in my car for almost 3 years, okay? I meant to take it out, but I realized after 2 or 3 days it never changed color, didn't change, smell or anything. And so I decided, let's see how long and how preserved this piece of French fry is. And, then I came out and Leah said, out with the science experiment.
The experiment ends here.
My science experiment is now in Three Rivers.
Or you might attract a bear tonight.
Yes.
That's right.
But thanks so much, Leah. It was a pleasure.
Welcome.
Nancy, I know you had a wonderful time there, too.
Absolutely. I enjoyed every bit, especially the conversation.
Yes.
We loved having you.
Yeah, it was
we talked
much
about
fun.
music a lot, didn't we?
Yeah.
It turns out
music
everybody here was into music.
Travel,
that
everything.
Neat to find out. And, if I could say one quick thing, since Porterville was talking about how they appreciate their veterans, we need to remember that Three Rivers, through the Chamber of Commerce, has a Hero Appreciation Month program.
Oh, good.
Where every single year, the first quarter of the year, we want to thank anybody who's ever served in the military or ever served as a first responder. So if you come to our community, we have some 40 businesses that participate, and they all give you 20% off of whatever they sell, make, their service, whatever it is.
Nice to know. Yeah,
and
I didn't know
that's when we have some of those crazy events like the bathtub race and a Learn to Square Dance party and a snowman building contest in the park.
Cool.
So, yeah.
We like Three Rivers. It was a wonderful place. Thank you very much.
Looking forward to having you guys again.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody, again, ThreeRivers.com, ThreeRiversBedandBreakfast.com. And, the other place we stayed, which is also at the foothills of the Sequoia National Park, is Visalia. Visalia is quite a little city. It's up and coming. It's kicking butt. It's not up and coming. It's been up and coming for a long time. Nancy just spilled her wine.
No, I didn't.
I think she's having too much
Look
fun.
at that. I'm quick.
Look at that. You didn't even spill it. Wow. She needs more wine. Someone needs to fill her glass. But Visalia is an incredible destination, a beautiful downtown district. And it's also got a convention center. It's one of those places you can, do business, you can shop, you can get married. There's all kinds of wedding stores I saw, too.
I know. This is a place to get married. If you're going to do it,
get hitched.
Do it here.
Get hitched. But joining us next is Brittany McMahon. McMahon, am I spelling it? McMahon.
Yeah.
I'm so used to just calling you Brittany.
There we go.
That's okay.
She's one of our tour guides, as is Danica, but they're both from the Visalia Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Brittany is the Sales and Visitor Services Assistant, and she's also part of the staff of the Sequoia Tourism Council. So what's the best website for everybody to find out more about Visalia?
Visalia would be visitvisalia.org.
And you're also on Facebook?
We are on Facebook. We have 2 Facebooks, Visit Visalia and See the Sequoias, and Visalia Convention Visitors Bureau.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And again, you can go to discoverthesequoias.com. So Visalia, it's one of the larger communities in the region, right?
Right, yeah.
About how many people live here?
Right around 125,000.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So now, Dawnette, I know that's your hometown.
That is my hometown. I love Visalia. I love all the communities of Tulare County.
And
There's
well,
so
everyone
much to offer.
hangs out together.
Absolutely.
Right. So Visalia is cool. We stayed at the Lamplighter, which was wonderful.
Yes.
And the cottages. This is a cool thing. I like the cottages.
Mm-hmm.
I had fun there. That's where you guys had your clay lesson.
Mm-hmm.
That was
yes,
so
the
much
clay.
fun. That was on my bucket list. To throw a pot, not at somebody, on the wheel.
Yeah.
That was on my bucket list, and I thank you for that because
you're welcome.
I
We're
get
glad you got to accomplish that.
Yeah.
Well, you got to make some.
I know.
Too.
I got to make a pinch pot, so yeah.
This was really good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they turn out. You guys will have to send me pictures of yours when you're done.
Yeah.
Mine not so much, but
oh, come on.
Very cute. It was whimsical.
Yeah.
And in the middle is Diva Linda's nail.
It's about the nails.
Yeah.
Preserving that.
There's a whole bunch of cows asking you to get rid of them before tomorrow.
service.
So when we got to Visalia, we stayed at the Lamplighter, like we were saying earlier, and we had a wonderful dinner. And at the Salazar's, now Salazar's is a well-known name here for food. Tell us a little bit about them.
Henry Salazar's is one of our local restaurants, family-owned and operated.
With the best chimichangas.
I know they have excellent chimichangas. I mean, all of their food is good. They're probably one of my favorite restaurants downtown, so you'll find me there.
Yeah, there's a lot of restaurants downtown.
There's a lot. There's over 60. So, and they're all local restaurants. You don't find too many chains around there. So, they're all locally owned and operated. All they try their best to use all of our locally grown food. So you'll see, our chefs and our restaurant owners at farmers markets on Saturday mornings and Thursdays, and they use that food, and then you really see it full circle. It's farm to fork. So.
And that's a cool thing, I think.
Yeah.
And I know that you actually came second in a huge national competition that was put together between Rand McNally and USA Today.
That's
and this was a national thing. And I mean, this was not
huge.
easy. I mean, so explain what happened and how this did it.
So that was kind of one of those things that I think Danica saw, and she said, well, hey, let's give it a shot. And checked it out, and it ended up that we ended up in the top 5 in the food category. So
out of the entire country?
Out of the entire country. There was, I think, 700 small towns representing the food category in this particular competition. So we made it to the top 5, and we had judges from USA Today come for about a week, and they went all over the place. I mean, they ate everywhere, and we ended up taking second in that competition. So that's really cool for us.
Did anybody hear that champagne? Woohoo!
Oh, yay! We have some sparkling wine from Las Flores Winery coming up next.
Yeah, I better drink that here.
We'll give you another glass.
I kept hearing 60, and my mind kept going, it cannot be 60. It has to be 16. But
it's about 60, yeah.
Wow.
Not just on Main Street. It kind of branches out a little bit off into those side streets. But, yeah, we've got
You were like
lots
a
of them.
foodie destination from...
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We love our food.
And the Able Skeevers.
Oh, Able Skeevers.
Everyone, on eatdrinkbemerrymagazine.com, pretty soon you're going to see a video of how to make an Able Skeever. And go to Facebook on Big Blend Magazine Facebook page, okay, because you will see Priscilla playing with her new Danish friend.
She made a friend.
And this is a wonderful Danish restaurant, but I would say that Valhalla's, which is where we had breakfast, is an institution.
Right.
30 years they've been
30 years. They will celebrate their 30th anniversary here in September, so very exciting for them.
And their breakfast was amazing, and their homemade sausage. I mean, it's
their omelets were to die for. Oh my gosh!
Well,
and did you find some shopping, Diva?
Oh, we didn't get to shop.
Yeah, we didn't have too much time to shop, but we do have
another reason
a lot
to come
of shopping.
Back,
Well, we did the history tour with Terry Allman, and he's been on our shows before. And Terry, he knows about vigilantes, and he knows about all Black Bart, and he knows about everything.
He knows really dark secrets.
Terry, are you listening?
He knows stuff.
He's a historian, but he took us on this amazing downtown tour, and I think we all kind of had the giggles because it was interesting how the buildings got changed throughout the years. It was like, we're going to wax this, right? We're going to wax this. Right then, okay, we're changing this, cut this out, off we go. But it really, I think the architecture of Visalia is just amazing. It's fascinating.
The history is good. We need to know more. Next time when we come up again, we need to hang out.
We'll do the full tour.
Yeah. And we need to go to the jail.
Yes, so Priscilla can take her picture.
Yes, she's going to have to change her clothing.
Is there a charge for that walking tour?
There's not.
Oh, my gosh.
So you can take it on your own, or we can coordinate with Terry. We're happy to help you out with that if you want to call in and let us know.
The chamber?
The Visitors Bureau, Convention and Visitors Bureau, yeah.
And then you say about convention, that's one thing we were able, we walked the downtown district. That's why Nancy was, amazed about 60 restaurants, because you have boutiques, you have restaurants, there's nightlife, there's entertainment. There was salsa night when we were there, and we're like, okay, we just did the whole national park. Are we going to go salsaing now? Are you kidding me? Okay.
Yeah, we'll tire you out.
Yeah, but you also have the convention center right in the downtown district. And Diva Linda, I just want to go to her because she also understands this about conventions. You've done a lot of event planning, and this is a different convention center because it's easy.
Well, first of all, it's beautiful. It's clean. It's compact but very large and affordable. Like I couldn't believe the prices are amazing.
Very affordable.
Free parking.
Right across the street.
Parking.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this place is beautiful, and I think the largest group you can do there is 3,500, 3,200.
Right in there, yeah.
Right.
Between 3,000 to 3,500.
So I could put on a big rock and roll festival.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Let's go. All right, Rants, Raves, Rock and Roll, baby. That's it. So we can bring in, big performers and just rock it out.
And then, you know what? And then before or afterwards, you can easily stroll.
Easy.
It's just an easy,
it's just a block away.
Flat stroll right to downtown. Safe.
Very safe,
or you can hop on that 25.
The trolley, I
like the trolley.
I know. Next time you guys come, we'll have to take you on a ride.
Oh my God!
It's so much nicer than a big city convention thing.
Right, and that's one of the things about Visalia is we are a smaller community, but we can host bigger events like in the big cities. And we've got the downtown. It's only a block away. You've got that time. You don't have to worry about, oh no, I only have half an hour for lunch. Where am I going to go? You walk right a block away. You can leave your car. It's free.
The parking. When you go to a big city, let me just talk about parking in Miami.
Let's just talk about Lisa trying to say anything about that because it's not going to be nice.
Right. Yeah. So
I think it is a beautiful city, and the architecture. That's what's so amazing to me. Is it's still there. You've got the the double-story buildings with you're looking at it going, wow, it's still here. The signs, even that corner right before you get to the convention center. There's the old newspaper sign. So it's you see history through the ages.
Oh yes.
Because no one's tearing it down, and I think they did at some point, and they
chopped
and they
a little
added and did some crazy cool things that you look at and you love. But I think it really shows history through the ages.
Yeah.
All the way to now.
And I think what's really nice about this area in particular, this whole county, is that it's halfway between Southern and Northern California. So as an event planner, when you go to look to see where you're going to hold things,
location.
Yes. So, it's halfway between, so no whining please.
Right.
And then Southern California people can continue up north, and the Northern California people can go down south. And certainly there's all the Sequoias to see and all the art in Three Rivers and all the shopping in Porterville.
Yes. And it's perfect what you're saying, Linda. You also, it's a great place for families. So if you're bringing your family with you to a convention, or maybe it's just your spouse will have plenty to keep themselves busy, but also families. There's a lot of activity for families to partake in our area. So a lot of things you can do to extend your stay or to come in a few days prior to your conference.
Yeah.
And there must be a lot of weddings, right? Because
yes, you guys were laughing about that. Yeah, that's funny. It's something I hadn't realized.
We always laugh about that.
And there's wedding dresses, and we laughed yesterday. We said, you could plan your whole wedding and just going downtown on Main Street and get your dress and your tux and your cake and your flowers and the venue and
walk
really do it all.
Street and end up at the convention and you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
Easy.
Vegas.
Drive-through wedding. No.
I say compared to Vegas. Good. They both start with a V if you do just the Vegas.
Yeah, it's kind of like a walk-through wedding instead of a drive-through.
But I think the really fun thing too is that shuttle that takes you.
Oh, the shuttle, isn't that great?
It is for $15.
For $15 round trip, it'll pick you up and take you up into the park, and there's a complimentary shuttle within the park that'll take you to a couple different destinations, and it'll bring you right back.
I think it's a good thing.
So, it's great. I mean, it's great for everybody. It's
safer.
It's safer. For me personally, I don't like to drive. I like to enjoy my ride.
Right.
So get on and enjoy the scenery, take the kids up, come back. It's a good day trip.
And you have a lot of international visitors.
We
That's
do.
what I've been noticing
Yeah.
in all
Yeah.
of the communities is the number of international visitors and how much they're purchasing. We like that a lot.
Yes, of
That
course,
was very
always.
nice.
Yeah.
So, yes, that was great.
Okay, so, Visalia, give the website again.
www.visitvisalia.org, or, of course, discover the Sequoias, which we've been talking about. You can find us there as well.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're going to see you again.
Yes,
I know, and we're going to go have some more beer.
Please.
We've been talking about wine, and
I know we put some beer in there yesterday.
Beer with us for this afternoon.
I don't think you're supposed to mix the grape and the grain.
I guess.
I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we're doing good. We have champagne now. The sparkling wine, from Los Flores and Terabella.
Host.
Yes. Champagne toast to Donette.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of you that
And
have helped us.
to
Visalia and everyone. Let's just say
To the Sequoia Tourism Council.
Thank you. That's the way to do it. Champagne toast to them, and I'm going to champagne toast to Steve again for his birthday.
We're going to just keep toasting until
there's no more left. Okay, so Brittany, it was such a pleasure. Totally, just having spent some time with you girls and enjoying Visalia. And again, I think this whole experience is about the people. We get to enjoy the conversations, find out how people live here, and go, wow, we don't do that in Tucson. Oh, we do that though. You never know. Well, tomorrow we're going to be going to Dinuba. So isn't that right?
Our northern part of our county.
The northern part. Okay, so we're going to go from the dairy farm to Dinuba to raisin land. Is that right? I believe
that is correct. You're right. Yeah, we're not as big in raisins as we once were, but we still have raisin growers in our area, and we are known for fruit. That is definitely what we're going to kind of feature tomorrow on your tour. Is we're going to be taking you to the Naylor's Organic Farm Stay, which is a bed and breakfast where you actually will get to go out and pick your own fruit. Cool. And experience that. And then we're also going to be going to a packing house to kind of get the feel for what the commercial end is of fruit packing.
Wonderful. And speaking with us right now is Sandy Sills, and she is the executive director of the Dinuba Chamber of Commerce. And, this is exciting. So we actually get to go into the farmlands. And,
yes.
And I was looking at, you were talking about the farm, we're going to go and pick fruit, but isn't that also a farm stay place?
It sure is. It's a bed and breakfast. The Naylors have put this together for us and in our community. Very nice, wonderful people, the Naylors, and they're going to be allowing you to go out and actually pick some fruit and tell you a little bit about what it is to farm in the valley. So you'll get a little bit of a first-hand approach to that.
So is Dinuba mostly an agricultural community?
It is agricultural. We do have some major industries in our community as well. We have Odwalla juice, which if you're familiar with, and you will get samples of that. Yes, yes, you will be getting samples of that. We're fortunate to have Ramon Rivera sit on our board of directors, so he's bringing you some juice for the evening.
Many samples?
Yeah, many samples, he said.
Oh, I see Diva Linda setting up her press tour people right now, going, come on.
And but we do have Reese Foods also, who is one of the major producers of Mexican food products and tortillas in particular.
Oh,
so they're also part of our community. So we have some businesses as well, and so we have come around a little bit from being all ag to having some other commercial industry. But we still have our major farm industry there. So.
But I also heard you've got a golf course, so Nancy can take her second golf lesson.
That's true, and I have arranged to have the city manager take you for that tour. He's been kind of the very great golfer, and he was the one that kind of got behind this. He's originally has an Irish background, so he went to a golf course that kind of resembled that. So it's a very nice golf course.
Does that mean we get to have whiskey, Jameson?
I'm hoping that they're
going
to. Yeah, exactly. Whatever you girls want. I mean, we can make that happen. So.
Oh, you heard it here. Okay.
Well, we might just have to relaunch the link to Lisa's first golf lesson video.
No, I think it's time for Nancy's golf lesson to go up, and so we can do that. We both just had our first golf lessons in Yuma, Arizona, and it was fun. I think more people are laughing at us, or me, because Nancy decided to put that up on YouTube with Benny Hill music in the background. This is great.
Well, it took her a lot longer to hit the ball than it did me. So I
for me to hit the ball than the ball to hit you? Yeah, it didn't quite make its way over to you, but you did whack the ball.
I did.
She whacked it out of the ballpark, as I would say. But so this time I want to video Nancy taking a golf lesson.
All right.
It's time for Nancy to do this. So that
well,
will be
last
fun.
time I played golf in a tournament, they actually paid me to stop. So if that gives you an indication.
So you're going to come golfing with us too,
I will be watching probably because they'll probably ask me not to.
Can we have wine before we do this?
We can do this. We can have wine.
Okay.
Definitely.
I do think, just for our listeners, you will have to put the link to your golf lesson up tonight.
Nobody needs to see my golf lesson.
Everybody needs to see it. It's really fun.
No, you can go on YouTube and see it. Have you seen it, Diva Linda?
Oh. You have to.
If there's somebody else that can't hit the ball,
Even the people in the little golf carts going around and around were honking at me.
There you are. Okay.
They're like, it's time to move on.
I'm good on the putting green. I can do the putting.
You can putt?
Oh yeah.
Diva Linda the putter.
Yeah.
All right.
Swing at that golf ball, not even close. Not even close.
But isn't putting, you're still having to hit it?
But not the big swing.
Yeah.
The big 90-yard swing thing.
No, leave that to Nancy.
Yeah.
Okay, she's a putter, I'm a swinger.
So Nancy's ball might actually end up in the orchards.
And they do surround the golf course, so there's a possibility if you swing that good that they could end up out in the orchards.
Wow.
It's not that I swing that good; it's my aim is really bad.
There comes the truth about all of this. So we're going to go to the golf course.
Yes, we will. That's kind of going to be the end of our day. We'll be ending up out there and have a little tour of the golf course, and most certainly if you want to hit a few balls out there, we can certainly arrange that for you as well. And having dinner at the golf course club, which is called Three Finger Jack.
Oh,
wonderful! Sounds like fun.
All right, Three Finger Jack.
It does sound like fun. So milking cows in the morning, hitting golf balls at night.
Quite a day.
This is great. So lodging-wise, do you have many hotels in Dinuba?
We have 2 hotels in Dinuba. We have a Best Western and a Holiday Inn Express, and you'll be spending the night at the Holiday Inn Express, which is our newer facility.
Oh, wonderful. So do you get a lot of people coming in for the agritourism business, or from tourism, or is it a lot of people coming in to see what's going on with agriculture in your area, and then also because you've got the different foods, like you were saying, with the Mexican food company?
We do have different things. We have some business, a lot of business people that come in, either construction. We have some construction going on in town, and so we have people staying there at the hotel for that. But we find that we have a lot of people that are coming through, maybe going up to Kings Canyon, which Dinuba is a great place to stop if you're going up to the Kings Canyon.
To Kings Canyon. So you're close to that. Okay.
Yes, we're about 25 minutes away from the gate at Kings Canyon.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
And then if you don't, then after you do the day in the Kings Canyon, then you can just go 2.5 hours and get to the coast. So we're really an ideal location for getting to everything quickly. So.
Am I right or wrong that there's a winery near you, or upcoming winery?
We have several wineries around us, but not any in the Dinuba area. We have some in Kingsburg, and we have some in Sanger and Reedley as well.
Oh, okay. So they're surrounding you.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, now this is just getting better and better.
I know. Linda just sat up a little straighter.
I know. So Kings Canyon, have you been there?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about that, because that's next on our national park list.
Is that next in your park? Well, it's when you've gone up to the big trees, it's definitely a different feel when you get up into the Kings Canyon National Park, but you'll find that you'll see a lot more families camping up there. They have a nice little store and a little restaurant that you can eat at, and it tends to be the place, especially during the snow season, for people to go up for the day use area because it's very close and it's easy to get to, and usually the roads are cleared for that winter time use.
Oh, wonderful. And the best website for Dinuba
is www.dinubachamber.com.
All right, DinubaChamber.com. Again, everything is, if you go to discoverthesequoias.com, you can find out information and link directly to the Gateway communities to plan your visit, and also to the Sequoia National Forest and the Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Park. So we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have one quick thing. I have brought a friend of mine. She'll wave at you over there.
Hi.
But she's with the Alta District Historical Society.
Yes.
We will be visiting that as well. And we're having a special tasting party that was as a fundraiser for the Chamber of Commerce, and she runs a business. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Anyway, and so she brought you a little gift of some of the sampling and some of the things we'll be sampling that evening for our thing, and a little card about that event.
Ooh,
all right.
Can we just talk about what we have here gift-wise? Donnette, you got to help us here, because this is ridiculous.
You have so
in a good way.
We have what Sandy just brought for you. Visalia has brought some baskets. I haven't even looked at what they have. I know that from Porterville we have Plano jerky, which Diva Linda got to visit. So you have big gift baskets with all kinds of local products. that are produced in the area, Golden Eagle olive oil, Terabella honey, Plano jerky, which is world famous.
This is like Christmas in July, I'm telling you, folks.
And Stafford's chocolates. Of course, they sent you some of their chocolates and some of those lovely lavender-infused chocolates and the wine-infused chocolates. And we threw in some T-shirts. You know, we always talk about the Iris Festival every year on the show.
Our T-shirts.
So we brought you your shirts, and we brought you the chili cook-off shirt.
We love our. I just want to say we love to have T-shirts because as we travel around on our tour, trust me, T-shirts and jeans rule. Okay. And you know, we want to represent all the areas we've been covering. So T-shirts are the best thing for us to have on hand because we want everybody to know about the places we've been to.
And for some reason,
we're
people
walking advertising boards.
Yeah, we are. And people keep going, "Where are you from?"
We probably confuse them with all those T-shirts.
It's okay.
So, but everybody has been so generous with the gifts and they're really to welcome
we love
you.
That.
And of course, I think you're going to have to try and fit a cupcake in your pocket or something because I know that Crave Cafe.
That's
going
to
be
so
hard.
We're having a little party here. Everybody eat some wonderful cupcakes. I'm looking at them going, And we've got chocolates. We've got the
chocolates from Stafford's Chocolates. Wow. The turtles that we got to watch them make the other day. So
Linda.
And we've got CDs from Pete. From Pete Grant, the Stepsons, and we're going to be playing their music next. This is amazing. This is truly, truly an amazing destination, everybody. Again, I encourage you to go to discoverthesequoias.com and really go to the website, plan a trip, but really, most importantly, get your butts over here.
And this could be good in any season. Am I not right?
Yes, because there is stuff to do in every season. I think all of our communities will agree. There is always something going on and different types of things, too, just because of the different kinds of activities and things you may have available as the season changes.
That's right.
Wow, this is so... it's going to like a 2 months.
All right. Well,
every other month.
Everybody, again, Dinuba Chamber of Commerce, check them out online, and we're going to be there tomorrow. So follow us on Facebook. Linda Kissam's got a great Facebook page, and also on Big Blend Magazine, and you'll be able to see the antics of Priscilla at a dairy farm in Tulare, and then Priscilla is going golfing. I think we've done our first lesson. I think it's time for Priscilla to go golfing, and we're going to learn some history of the area, too. So I'm looking forward to that. So
I think we need to set up a golf tour for you, your own golf tour through all of our communities.
Here it is.
Talk about a comedy.
So what has to happen is we get on the golf cart, and we get to have our little cocktails and go, isn't that a beautiful golf course? And look at that dude.
This is how you golf. Okay.
This is how you golf. Well, joining us next is Pete Grant, and he's the frontman of the band, the Stepsons, based out of Porterville, California. We saw them play at the Lunchbox the other night in Porterville, and I was just like, dude, okay, because you never know where you're going to find good music, right? You never know.
Well, we found it.
And I was just like, we got some Peter Greens, we got some good boogie. That you've got the real blues going on there, and it was just like,
awesome.
Wow, who knew outside of a restaurant? Seriously, that you would find such great music like this. So everybody, we had to bring him on the show, and before we get him speaking on the show, we got to play some music. And this is Blackstrat Boogie, and I think it totally goes with our tour even. And I think as musicians know, they travel a lot, so take a listen. Here it is, Blackstrat Boogie. And Pete, your Facebook page for everybody, is that the best place?
The Stepsons, yes, on Facebook. I also have my own writer's page, Pete Grant, on Facebook for the books I write and the other music that I do.
And you can hear he is not born in Porterville, but here he is. He is playing music in Porterville. Here you go, Blackstrat Boogie.
Load up the gear, get in the car, hit the road, we're traveling far. Get on the freeway to Old Point West. I'm gonna do that thing I love the best. Driving with my honey, feeling alright. We're gonna blackstrap boogie tonight. Blackstrap boogie, well blackstrap boogie, well blackstrap boogie, well blackstrap boogie, blackstrap boogie, gonna blackstrap boogie tonight. Arrive at the gig, get something to eat. Only a few hours before we hit that beat. Set up the equipment on the music stand. Then a little sound check for the band. Looking good, Blackstrap boogie, well, blackstrap boogie. Blackstrap boogie, gonna blackstrap boogie tonight.
Joining us in a second here. You are listening to Big Blend Radio live from the Porterville Chamber of Commerce, which is in the Central California region of the Sequoia region. This is part of the Big Blend Radio's Spirit of America tour. Nancy and I were a mother and daughter team. We're the publishers of BigBlendMagazines.com, which is home to 10 online radio and video magazines. See, I can barely speak. All the champagne wine. Gee, you know.
Do you want us to stop, Lisa?
No, not
okay,
at all.
So.
Not at all. Not at all. But this is part of our 5-year national tour of the parks. And Donette,
good one.
Linda, do not give me the giggles.
No, I'm not going to give you the giggles.
You girls gave me the giggles badly last night.
We had a hard time when we tried to interview you because you.
That doesn't work. We don't like table giggles, right? But here we are. It's part of our 5-year national tour, and this is the second park. We have 395 parks to go, Nancy.
Well,
we have a lot to do.
If it's all going to be like this, let's go.
I know.
I think I'm going to join on this park tour with
this is really it.
I think we need a big limo bus and just pick up people we like and go.
I think this is a big party for our tour. This is a big, kind of step it out and let's go. And obviously we keep saying we want to come back.
And we got us a convoy.
Right.
Well, we're not so sure we are so unique in the Sequoia region. I mean, I hope you get this kind of warm welcome, but I think ours has been an extra special welcome.
Do we have a challenge?
We have a challenge to any other parks area to welcome you like the Sequoia region has.
Oh, cool. I love that.
Let's say that again and let's
Diva Linda, have you been having fun? I know Diva Linda's coming on part of our tour with us as she can.
I've had a great time. It's been an eye-opener that all this wonderful stuff is so close to where I live.
I know.
I mean, absolutely wonderful. I mean, up until this point, I never would have thought. I thought the Sequoias were like, I don't know, in Wyoming or something. So it's.
Have another glass of wine.
Look at them, Kevin's left.
I need the man in the map first.
Yes, Andrew Martoni.
We need the man in the map.
One of my friends said, "You're going to drive to the Sequoias?" And I said, "Oh my God, what does that mean? I mean, what does that mean?" But
isn't that funny?
It was a straight drive. It was fabulous, and then to find such talent.
Yeah, Pete.
Seriously,
the stepsons. I mean, when we got out of the car, we're like, okay, where are we? What are we doing? Because that's what it's like on these trips. We're like, here. Everything's fast. You're having a good time. I mean, just as you're having a great conversation with someone, or sipping a beautiful glass of wine, or biting into a cupcake, you're on to the next place. When we came to the lunchbox, we knew it was like our last destination for the night. Mm-hmm. We get out of the car. Are we late? Are we this? Let's roll. And all of a sudden I hear this music, and I'm like, yeah, I haven't heard the blues like this live for a long time. So tell us, how did you go from England to Porterville, sitting and playing outside the lunchbox?
It's a very, very long story. The very potted version is that I met and fell in love with my lovely wife about 10 years ago, and
there we go.
She works locally at the Porterville Developmental Centre, and was going to be able to take early retirement in a couple of years. At that point I was retired as a musician. I'd had a lot of illness, and I wasn't playing. I was working in the music business. I was managing a sax player in England, Dick Hextall-Smith, and running websites for people such as Peter Green. And
I love Peter Green. I told you that was the first thing. I was like, okay, when are you going to play Albatross just now, right?
We do actually play Albatross.
Oh.
We didn't do it that night, but we do Albatross and a few others. Oh well, sometimes we do.
Cool.
Anyway, I thought I was going to be here for 6 months, and that was 8 years ago.
So do you still think you're leaving? Do you have the suitcase unpacked now?
No. Funnily enough, someone was listening to one of my tracks online today, which is called 5,000 Miles from Home, and it's about how I do feel homesick for. I come from North London in England, and I do feel homesick for it from time to time. My family, etc. And somebody put on my Facebook page, I hope you're able to come home soon. And I could actually write, well, I am home. Because Porterville's my home now, and I mean, since I've been here, I don't think I'm not one of these people that just stays at home. I like to get involved in the community, and I like to become part of the community. That's easier here than a place like London, believe me. You're just one of 8 million there.
It's amazing to think about London. When we lived in England and went to London, you just think about 8 million people. And England's a small country; it's an island,
Well, that's right. 60 million people. 8 million of them are in London. 12 million work in London every day. So.
I always think that part's going to start sinking.
Well, it won't now because I left.
Oh. No, it's amazing that you're here and you're playing music, and your band is incredible.
Yeah, I think I'm very lucky. The bass player Bob Bartlett saw me playing at the Barn about 5 years ago, and
the Barn being the Barn Theatre.
The Barn Theatre, yeah.
Oh.
Nice place.
I used to be the vice chairman there, and I've done some acting and directed some shows there.
Oh, cool.
along with my wife, and the bass player Bob saw me. I'd actually gotten up, just a band hadn't turned up. They had a Buzzard festival where they have a lot of bluegrass bands. One of the bands hadn't turned up. I can explain that if you want me to.
Did the buzzards land?
Yes, yeah, they have. They have these.
Is it the birds all over again?
Yeah. Well, no. Actually, we like the turkey buzzards, and there was an amazing thing that happened. They all roost in the trees around the Barn Theatre, and there are thousands of them that come and roost. And when we were playing music outside, the birds all came and flew overhead. Wow. And when we stopped playing, they went back into the trees. And when we started again, they came back and started flying.
Wow.
Really cool. Anyway, Bob saw me there, thought we might play music together, got in touch with me, and we formed a band. We went through more drummers than Spinal Tap, I have to tell you.
No kidding. I know about that.
We know about drummers.
We know about drummers. We love drummers.
But the one we've got now, Jason Peterson, he's a bit younger than the rest of us, and I'm hoping he'll go on to have a really glorious career. He's already played on tour with Pat Benatar, Dierks Bentley,
wow.
and War. And currently talking to Miranda Lambert's people, so hopefully he'll get some work with them. But even though he works as a session musician in LA, he plays with us because he likes it. Our other guitarist, Ladislao Prado, has toured on lots of USO tours. He was in a thrash metal band in the 80s that had a following in Europe. But we all get together and we play the blues. And like I say, when I came here, I had stopped playing. I was very ill throughout the 90s, and for 4 years I couldn't work, and I took the decision to retire from playing. But with the encouragement of my wife and Danette's absolutely right. It's such a music centre. In fact, there are people here who call Porterville Music City, and because of the legacy of Buck Schaefer, who was behind the Porterville High School's band, and because of other people like him, there is this real tradition of music in this town. And I heard a statistic, Danette will probably know whether this is true or false, but out of 55,000 people that live here, 7,000 play an instrument.
Wow.
And
I would say that's probably about right. And all the people who have gone through the schools and who have stayed and, continue to play, and then all the kids that are in the bands, it's definitely got to be in the thousands.
Well, there's one band in town, the Horns of Gold, and they have a couple of guys in their band who were in Buck's original Porterville High School band back in the 50s.
Wow.
And they're still playing. So, I was encouraged to play again, and it took me a couple of years to really get back. But we have got a good tight band, and I'm hoping before we finish that we are able to go out and tour, because a couple of the guys haven't experienced it like I have. I was on the road for 8 years at one point. I worked as a theatre musician and I worked in bands, and I think this band is good enough to go on the road, but for the moment we love playing around here.
Well, you could just hitch yourself to the back of our little, I was going to say Mova Cleopatra doppelganger, which is our car.
Well, just come on the road with us, right?
Yeah.
Well, I want to give a toast to your wife.
Yeah, for convincing you to not stop, because your wife's name is
Carmen.
Carmen.
Ooh, Carmen Electra.
Carmen with a K.
Carmen. Oh. I like that.
Well, that's special.
Salute, my dear.
Well, we've got one of your albums, and I know you've got a stack of them here too. So you've got albums for people to get. Is that something people can get when they're at the shows, when you're playing live?
We sell them live. The track you heard is from a studio EP, which was recorded in Porterville at Rocky's studio, just around the corner from here. And we have that EP. We have a Stepson sampler which has live tracks and some tracks that we recorded in rehearsal. And the latest thing we have is us playing live at the Porterville Fair back last May. And if anyone wants to get hold of any of these CDs, find us on Facebook, get in touch with us, and we can supply you. Don't worry about that.
And you know what? I think that the blues in this region really goes well, because number one, you're in the San Joaquin Valley. Is that correct? Can I say that, or are we?
We're in the San Joaquin Valley.
Right.
Yes, we are.
Because it's kind of part of the California Delta, right? So you've got that vibe, and I think blues goes where there's a lot of hard work and the real stories. And here you've got agriculture. You've got people out there day in and day out, whether they're picking crops or they're running tractors or they're managing. It's not an easy industry at all. And then you've got the downtown where people are sitting there and talking to each other. This is real. And I think blues is a very real form of music. It's real. You can't get realer than the blues at times, you know? It's going to tell that story, and you can hear it whether or not you can hear the words sometimes.
Well, I actually try and elucidate quite well. So I think you can tell when we're singing, but I know what you mean. But the blues is more of a feeling. I mean, the greatest quote I've ever heard was B.B. King, who said the blues was the sound of a good man feeling bad.
Right.
And the blues is quite popular in Europe.
Very much so.
Yeah, I mean,
the visitors.
Do you have an opinion on why that would be so? Because it's not really.
Well, actually, and this does lead to a plug, and I didn't actually mean it to
Go
be.
for a plug. We give you permission.
I already have one. I write about music as well as playing it, and I have a book that I co-wrote with a guy called Dick Hextall Smith, who was one of the first blues musicians in England. And we have a book out called Blowing the Blues, which you can find on Amazon. And I'm currently writing a book about a guy called Cyril Davis, who was, along with Alexis Corner, they were the first two guys to play blues in Britain. And in the late 50s, they brought over people like Muddy Waters, Sonny Land Slim, and there's actually an amazing recording of Muddy Waters playing in the 50s to people who had never heard amplified music before.
Have you heard the Lost and Found series?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's it. I've got we've got
to. Boy, do we have to talk.
Well,
we really have to talk.
Cyril and Alexis were in Chris Barber's band, and Cyril Davis was a harmonica player. He went on to be with my friend Dick Hextall Smith in Alexis Corner's Blues Incorporated, and they used to have young kids get up and jam with them on stage. This would be about 62, including Michael Philip Jagger, Keith Richard, Brian Jones. In fact, when Cyril left that band and formed his own Cyril Davis All-Stars, which included Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin, their support band at a club called the Marquee was the Stones. And Cyril was just on the verge of becoming famous when, unfortunately, he died in '64. But what happened in England was that young bands like the Rolling Stones got so into blues, they played blues in their early sets. And then there was another wave of people like Peter Green in Fleetwood Mac, Eric Clapton in the Yardbirds, and they also got enthusiastic about the blues. They started playing it and exporting it back to America, which I
It's so funny.
Well, I think what's wonderful.
It's so funny. What started here had to go across the seas and come back for people to get it.
But think about all the visitors that come here because of the Sequoia National Forest, Sequoia National Park, Kings Canyon, and they get to hear music that they love too.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? Because we keep going back and forth. So I think I love this, and I could talk to you for hours about that. And the Lost and Found series. I mean, if you can get your hands on it, and I'm going to connect you with someone else on that too, Pete. That series of music is incredible. You can actually listen to people that are hearing the blues for the first time. It's absolutely amazing to hear. So check it out. And this area really feels like that. You feel like you're at the heart of where country music is too. So I think and kind of like the old style. Am I right with that? How do you feel?
Very much so.
Kind of connects.
But what we found is, there's one venue up towards Springville called the Antlers, and that's very much a country. I mean, they like both kinds of music there, country and western, and you would think that we wouldn't go there, but there's so much similarities. I mean, we play shuffles, country bands play shuffles. We sing in blues. You're singing about everyday life. That's what you find in country music, and we find that our music does go over to country fans as well. So yeah, there's an enormous crossover.
It's that heartfelt part, and it's the heart reach.
It's real,
right?
It's not bubblegum music.
It's real. It's real, and that goes with this region. So
it does. The music, it's so rooted.
And I love that you have live music in your community because there's a lot of places that just don't have it anymore. and it's really special to keep venues open and that support live music.
Mm-hmm. And we have them all over town. I mean,
that
we
is
have our
so
music
cool.
on Main. We have our different stores. You're going to hear the wineries come on in a minute, and they're going to. I mean, they have wine venues that they do, and the whole bit.
Right.
It's so awesome that we have live music here.
Pete, I appreciate you coming in for the show today, and I know we're going to be talking more. You're going to come on our Rants Raves Rock and Roll show as well.
Yes, I'm looking forward to
yes,
that.
and I want to talk to you also about the change in music as we go through our shows with you later. Definitely want to talk to you about what session work is now, especially with the internet, and people actually doing it live as well. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Pete on our shows. I'm going to get him back hopefully in August or September on Rants Raves Rock and Roll. I know Diva Linda, if you can stick around, it would be wonderful. I know Diva Linda's got something to talk to you about as well. And
sure.
We all do. So have some wine. Everybody, again, check out the Stepsons. Go on Facebook. They're there, and also Pete Grant as well. It's wonderful, wonderful music, and check them out. Get their CD. We'll be featuring them again on rantsravesrockmagazine.com. So here it is. You know, we've talked about wine, and that means, you know, we got to get into the feeling of wine. So I'm going to just, you know, Linda, are you ready to talk about Terabella?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be great.
Okay. Everybody, we're going to get a glass of wine. Stay tuned. We got it. Everybody, you're listening to Big Blend Radio live from Porterville, California, and Porterville is one of the most amazing communities you can visit in Central California. It is in the heart of the Sequoia country, on the back door. Let me just paint you a picture. Downtown Porterville, quaint boutiques, amazing restaurants, and just great wine around the corner. You drive through orange groves, vineyards, and you find 3 amazing wineries in Terabella, California. You look up, you see the Sierras, and you see the Sequoia National Forest and the Sequoia National Park. Donette, have I got that right?
It's a perfect picture, and that's what it is here.
It's
it really
beautiful.
is. It's beautiful. And the day we were out to the wineries, it was so clear and gorgeous, and it wasn't overly warm. It was just a great day to go out and experience the wineries and enjoy good company and do a little shopping and
a little picnicking. And Diva Linda is with me. Diva Linda is one of our writers in VacationStationMagazine.com, where she goes wine tripping and eat, drink, be merry magazine.com. But she's also known as the Wine Chick. You can go to her website, thewinechicks.com, and also thewinebuzz.com. 1 Z for every type of wine she likes. No, but that's 4 of them, so that's not true.
No. Every continent, maybe. Yeah.
But Diva Linda, I know we've worked with you a number of years, Nancy and I, and also visited some number of wineries with you. And it's interesting, especially Temecula, you've tasted wine around the world, and then to come here and taste wine in Central California, in Terabella, and we get into a limousine that picks us up with Donette. Nancy and I get in there with you and Priscilla Pinot Pony and, Mr. Pete, our pals, and we get in the limo, a stretched limo, and we go out into the country. And you don't think a limo is going to go through orange groves, but they do. What is the limo company? Golden Touch?
It's Golden Touch Limousine, and they even gave us that beautiful SUV limo so we could all stretch out and have a good time. And, yes, Daniel was amazing as he maneuvered the vineyards and the orchards and all the countryside.
We like that because we don't like drinking and driving either. You want to relax and have a good time. So, Diva Linda, your experience, do you put this up there with a good one?
I really do. Since I've represented wineries, I still represent wineries. I've represented the Temecula wine country as a whole through the Wine Growers Association. So I understand what it's like to begin in a newer appellation. So is the appellation Terabella? Is that it?
No. Right now there is no appellation for Terabella. It's California.
It's California.
Yes.
Okay.
But don't let that mislead you because because there is no appellation in Terabella.
Yes.
The world's largest wineries are all around us.
Mm-hmm.
Gallo, Mondavi, Franzia, all of the Constellation Group,
Mm-hmm.
and as far as them, since they don't really care to have a tasting room and deal with the general public, there's no need for them. But the appellation is California.
I do want to say we have Victor and Carrie Flores here, and that's Victor talking. Both of them run and own Bella Lavina Farms,
Mm-hmm.
which was the first winery we got to visit in Terabella, and we had so much fun. And I'm like, all right, so continue. Sorry.
So so you were the first winery that came into that had an actual tasting room?
No, actually, there's been other wineries before us that have had tasting rooms, but in this time, it was us and LaBelle that applied for our use permit right at the very same time.
And that was what year?
Oh, that was about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. So, about 5 years ago.
Victor, can you explain what an appellation is? Because I'm thinking, are we going to Appalachian country?
Appellation.
Okay, an appellation would be a wine region that would be recognized by the general public. Let's say like Paso Robles would be an appellation. Napa would be an appellation. Temecula would be an appellation.
Okay.
And, so that would be a name that was recognized by the general public.
And so on any bottle of wine, you can, if you're you're producing grapes from a particular appellation, you may use that on the bottle.
Okay.
So let's say I'll do Temecula Valley since I'm very familiar with that. It could be the wine might say on the bottle Temecula Valley, or that particular group of that winery could also say not Temecula Valley. It could also just say South Coast, because that's an appellation. It's a larger appellation, and then the larger appellation of that is California. So they have lots of different types of titles that they can say where their grapes came from, because you're required to say where your grapes come from as a vintner.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
this is truly a hidden gem.
This is truly a hidden gem. I think so. I mean, it's my opinion that once you hit 3 wineries and a restaurant, you're a wine region. That's a day out. You probably shouldn't be hitting any more than 4 in a restaurant. Take your time, 45 minutes to an hour. If you have a tour, you took us on a tour, which was quite wonderful. It was about a half an hour. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah,
told us a little bit about your viticulture practices.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that, tell me what types of grapes you grow.
Well, we have 9 varietals, and we just planted a 10th.
And tell them what a varietal is.
A varietal would be the variety of what grape vine it is.
Like a Chardonnay grape, a Zinfandel grape.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We have Merlot, we have Cabernet Sauvignon, we have Viognier, we have Syrah, we have Petit Syrah, we have Barbera, we have Zinfandel, Muscatel, and we just added the Alicante Boucher.
Right, which is really good. We really like that.
I think I left out Tempranillo.
Yeah, don't forget Terpinato for Nancy.
Tempranillo.
And how did you decide? Your grape vines then are how old now?
They range in different ages. We have Syrah and Viognier that are right now about 6 years old. And then, like I said, the one that we just planted was Alicante Boucher.
And what's probably the oldest grapes that you have in your area, not just necessarily on your property, but in your area? The oldest grapes, the vines might be how old?
Oh, well, they grow into the hundreds of years. So, so I wouldn't know exactly where a certain vine is that's 100 years old, but I know they're out there somewhere.
Okay, yeah, because grapevines can last they just keep going. They produce less, but they just keep going.
Right.
So when you were planting, did you go to a nursery, and there's special nurseries that you can buy your grapevines from. So did you plot out which ones you wanted to try? Was it hit and miss? How did you figure out which varietals you wanted?
The varietals, we planted the varietals that we like to drink.
Ah,
yes, we did.
I hear that often, yeah.
Yes, we did. And as far as nurseries, yes, I can't remember the name of the nursery, but there's a nursery in Visalia. What is it?
I do not remember the name of the nursery right now, but it'll come to me.
Anyway, there's different nurseries.
Yes, there are. Yeah. that have different clones. So for those of you who don't know about grapes, it's almost like roses. There's a different clone, and you can have, sometimes you can have your own clone made, but
I need a clone.
Yeah, you need
Then you could get to all those parks and stay everywhere longer.
Well, you try to make sure that the clone is going to do well in the soil, the sunshine, the whatever it is. So you probably start well, let's start with bud break. When is bud break for you? So
Okay, bud break is usually right about in April.
In April, okay.
Late March, early April.
Okay, and then veraison, and veraison is when there's grapes on the vine and they haven't reached their full color yet. And veraison was, I think, when we were looking, July 16th seems to be.
It depends on the varietal. If it's an early varietal like a Tempranillo, Tempranillo will that veraison it started maybe about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And then our last grape to be harvested is Cabernet Sauvignon. We harvest those in October, so that veraison will probably start in the first of next month.
Okay, so that's do you pick at night or do you pick early in the morning?
Everything is hand picked, so we pick early in the morning.
Early in the morning. Temecula picks in the evening, like 1 in the morning, actually. Really, yeah, to avoid the heat. So let's go on a little bit more to the experience in the tasting room.
Ooh, I love your tasting room. Yes. Oh my gosh, you have more than tastings.
Yeah. All kinds of. If there's shopping, that's why Linda needs to talk about that.
And they have a wine gnome.
Yes, they have a wine gnome. And you have 2 Betty Boop characters.
Yes, we do.
So tell me a little, how did that happen? They're like,
they were born there.
They were there.
How did that happen? That's a good question. I'm a shopper, and that's how that happened.
And you don't have to say any more than that.
Yeah, we understand.
Because I understand that. And so the tasting experience, when you come in, do you have to know about wine to come tasting at your place?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a very comfortable atmosphere, very casual, and we have a lot of first-time tasters.
And the cost to taste would be?
$7 to taste 9 wines.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, you're generous.
And you need a limo.
List.
No, you don't need to have a limo. Just have a designated driver.
Well, people think that they're going to get glasses of it.
See, there we go.
But that's not how it works.
It's a 1 ounce pour.
It's a 1 ounce pour.
Yes, and if you purchase 2 bottles, then your tasting's free for you and your group.
Oh, that's wonderful. And do you allow people to share their tasting if they want?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so you can get, there's a list that you can choose from, is that correct, as I remember? Yes. And now you guys are usually behind the counter, is that right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so that's really nice. You can speak to the owners, and that really makes the experience special. And then if you don't know the next step, so let's say you go there and it's quite exciting and it's wonderful and you love the wines, and I did like the wines a lot. And for such a young region, I really liked the wines a lot. So somebody was paying attention as they were developing your varietals. That must have been you, huh? Yeah,
that was me.
Yeah. So the next step often is to join a wine club. So people probably have heard the term, but you want to explain what a wine club is and why you have it and what it does. What's the benefit?
Well, our wine club is pretty much family. We have wine club events monthly, often, and we have a quarterly wine shipment. It's 3 bottles. $50, and you get a gift included in your wine shipment and a newsletter.
You get a Betty Boop.
I wish. I'd join for that.
And we have a great time. Our wine club is very important to us, and we've met some wonderful people in our wine club, and it's a great.
Do you ever do limited bottlings in your wine club?
Pretty much all of our wines are limited. We only produce 1,200 cases a year.
I think that's what brings the art into it, is that it's just not this mass-produced wine, and it's not. It takes it away from that factory feel. Like, it makes you sit down and appreciate what goes into it, because it really does start in the vineyard, and that's the work.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you have to have patience, and then when you drink, you must have patience and enjoy.
Okay.
I'm testing Viva Linda.
Should we have them tell us about what we're drinking right now?
Tell us about the wine, the Merlot.
It's our Reserve Merlot. It's a 2009, I'm sorry. And this is our Reserve, and what makes it a Reserve is We put it on French oak barrels for 18 months, and limited quantity.
Wow, well, thank you for
very
bringing
limited. It's a full-bodied dry Merlot.
It is full-bodied.
And we're sold out on it.
Wow.
We are.
And we get to taste
so
it.
probably first-timers that come in are thinking that they're going to, my sister always said, don't take me to, and I want to taste woods and sticks, meaning, the dry, tannic sorts of wines. But you have some lovely white wines. The Viognier is an example of that. You have some sweeter wines. I know the big discussion amongst the winery people that I represent is people always talk dry. In other words, I'm going to, want to taste that dry Merlot or whatever. But what do they walk out of your gift shop with? The sweeter stuff, right? Am I right?
Floozy Red.
Yeah. What is your best-selling wine?
Floozy Red.
Floozy Red. And we just had that at the beginning.
Yeah, we started the show because we decided we were floozy.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Speak for yourself, Lisa. Linda's known for being very friendly.
There we go.
I think we have a wine for every palate.
Which is wonderful.
Whether it's white or red,
well,
dry or sweet.
We have a wine for my palate, that's for sure.
Yeah, so what this means is a group of 4 people come in, and you have some less experienced people and you have some more experienced people. There'll be a wine for any one of them. And you don't have to taste through the sweets, and you don't have to taste through the dries. You can have a conversation with the person behind the counter, and you probably ask them what type of wine do you like, and if they don't know, my guess is you start them on the lighter stuff and move them up until it gets a little drier and so forth. Would that be correct?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. We have a lot of first-time tasters that come into the winery and a lot of travelers traveling to Sequoia, and we just encourage everyone to try the wines.
I think that's the only way that you can know whether you like anything or not, and certainly at your wine there's a lot of wonderful wines. And something else that's quite nice is you spend a lot of time on your landscaping and the feel of the winery outside and inside, of course. But it's beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely a beautiful stop. It's easy right off. What is that big road that goes?
Highway 65.
I call it the Orange Highway.
The Orange Highway, yes. Highway 65 is quite nice. And if can you tell us a little bit about when what was your vision for this tasting room, for this winery? You thought, well, we'll have a tasting room because, or winery because.
Well, before this, we had our company. We had a harvest and sales company, but it was always a dream to open a little winery, but it had to be in the perfect place. So we both found this corner on Highway 65, and we decided that is going to be our winery. And as far as the decorations of it is all my wife's doing. She found the building online. And,
oh my gosh!
Yes.
Barnplans.com.
No.
And they were wonderful. They guided us through it. They were fantastic.
Well, there's a little picnic area or a little green grass area in the back that you have
plenty
of parking.
It's party spot.
Yeah, plenty of parking in the front, and the beautiful area is behind. It's quite wonderful. And is it okay to stroll your vineyards, or is it just okay to look down the rows?
No, they can stroll all they want, no problem.
Are you pet friendly? Are you?
Oh, absolutely. We have our winery dog there, and we encourage people to bring in their dogs.
No, that's really nice.
Definitely.
That's really nice, and it's okay for limos, obviously, to come in. Lots of room to turn around.
And buses.
And buses.
We have buses often.
Yeah, and lots of shopping inside of there. We didn't really get the story about the 2 Betty Boops. There's a cowboy Betty Boop, and there's a tardy kind of Betty Boop. Yeah, which we really love,
and a lot of homegrown products, locally grown products that you feature in there.
Yes,
Carrie?
we support all the local growers with our pistachios and honey and olives and olive oil and almonds.
I saw that you do gift baskets too.
We
which is
do.
Really cool.
We do a lot of gift baskets.
Yeah,
and they ship them.
And
too.
we ship.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Look at this room. It's insane with all the gift baskets, But one thing I want to bring up too is that you do weddings out there too. I think that's really neat.
We do. Yes, we do. We do private events.
Okay, cool. So people can contact you there. What's the best website for people to go to visit your winery and get more information?
BellaLavinia.com.
BellaLavinia.com. And then there's 2 other wineries. Got Las Flores out in your
right
area,
around the corner from us.
and La Belle.
Right, exactly.
And
You're all
so
very close together.
very close.
And we should mention they are the inspiration. It is their son and daughter-in-law, Nicholas and Cody, who have Lost Forest Winery.
Right, and
the sparkling wines.
Does the landscaping go with it, and the winemaking go with it? Because
they've done a phenomenal job.
They really have, and it was wonderful meeting them, and then also going around to Marty. I mean, it's just been a wonderful trip. That wine tasting experience is just amazing, and I think that's what's so funny. I was talking to Perry, from the National Parks Conservation Association. Okay, we did the park, we did this and this, and you wouldn't believe how many wineries are outside of national parks. So we can't wait for the rest of our tour to continue. But it's been a pleasure, and the wine tasting experience. I really was amazed at the wines, and I know we've chatted with you on radio shows previously, and all the winemakers, from Terabella on the wine shows. But it was really just exceptional to be able to taste the wines and meet everybody. And
Glad
I think
you enjoyed.
Really wonderful. It was an eat, drink, be merry experience, wouldn't you say, Diva Linda?
It's quite wonderful, and the fact that you're behind the counter and talking to everybody and open and willing to work with the first timer to the aficionado is quite wonderful. So thank you very much, and thank you for hosting us. We had a wonderful time.
Thank you for visiting
and
us.
thank you for the wine.
I have a feeling
it keeps us
the rest
smiling.
of this bottle will be going back to the hotel.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna. Yeah, this is that's a sad thing. No, but really, everybody, I encourage you to experience something out of the regular city areas, out of the regular tour guide books. Get off the beaten path. And you're not really off the beaten path. It's pretty darn easy to get here. From San Francisco, from Bakersfield, from L.A., San Diego, Orange County, Arizona, Tucson was not a hard drive. There was a little twirl around. That's just because I'm blonde. No offense, Carrie. That's just me, who goes, let's see what goes down this road, and then find out what happens. But really, it's a beautiful region, and you are in the Sequoia region. And, above you, you've got Yosemite. Below, you've got Joshua Tree. How much better does it get, So really easy. Donette, I want to thank you really in particular for putting this trip together. I know we're partway through. We've still got some more places to go. We're going to Tulare. We're going to Dinuba and Traver. We're going to Bravo Cheese Farm. Speaking of wine.
And even tonight you're going to go to the ghost investigation, the paranormal.
Boo.
Fun stuff tonight.
They say you shouldn't be drinking wine when you play with ghosts, but I feel that we're quite in the spirit.
I think so. That's it.
I think so.
The spirits will mix.
I think so. Do you think Priscilla's going to get haunted? I'm taking Priscilla in there because I think Priscilla. Don't you think Priscilla should go into the ghost store?
I think she's too young.
She might get possessed.
Yeah. Well, then you'd be matched. Yeah. So
Thank you, Diva Linda. All right, but thank you, Donette, really, I know, really, just hosting the radio show and all the work you did putting this trip together, we really appreciate it. And everybody, PortervilleChamber.org, you've got to come to Porterville. You've got to experience the other destinations. Come to Porterville, go to Sequoia, the Sequoias, it's discoverthesequoias.com, the Sequoia Tourism Council for putting this together as well.
Go see those
Thank you
wineries.
for coming.
Yes.
I love the wineries.
Go see the wineries,
Yes,
go see the trees. I believe in this. Go to the local restaurants. Go to places like Hoagie's Heroes. Any of the bakeries that you went to, was it Crave?
Crave was wonderful. Special Occasions was wonderful. The Art Association was wonderful. The shopping, the wonderful clothes store today.
Oh, Fashion Network.
Fashion Network. We're liking that too. Yeah.
I'm liking the a la mode place.
The a la mode was lovely.
I'm seeing Nancy with a whole line of fedora hats. Yeah. She was like, uh-oh.
So first have your wine. Start off with your wine.
And as we've said, the Sequoia region, it has it all. For the individual traveler, the couple, or the family, there's something for everyone.
Well, I want to thank everybody. We're going to continue on with our 5-year national tour. Again, this was park number 2. And I encourage you to go to BigBlendSpiritOfAmericaTour.com, and you'll be able to find out what we're doing. We're on a 5-year tour. This is park number 2. We're going to be ending the trip on August 25th, 2017, except for I'm getting rumors that there's more parks opening. So we may be delayed. Who knows? And if we keep coming back here, we may not get anywhere. But what I love is that you are on the pathway to and from other parts of the West. So we get to come back here again. But again, the Spirit of America Tour is our effort to promote the full funding and protection of our national parks, but also to enhance the quality of life and financial stability by connecting America as a family to America's best idea. and we're going to be boosting more in education, communication, preservation, and sustainable practices. The gateway communities are really huge when it comes to visiting national parks. The gateway communities are the backbone of our country, the small businesses, the people we're talking about right now, everyone we've chatted with on the show, the wineries, the winemakers. These are people that are the backbone of our country, and we need to support them and support each other because this is our country, and we want it to be the best country also for our visitors that come over. So again, go to Big Blend Spirit of America Tour. Also find out more about the 8 Keys of Excellence when you're on there, and take our pledge of having a nation of excellence. If we have a nation of excellence, we can promote a world of excellence. So check it out. Go to BigBlendSpiritOfAmericaTour.com. You can also visit our magazines. We'll be keeping up with all our travels on BigBlendMagazines.com. As we travel around, we'll be featuring articles, radio shows, and video interviews across the country as we travel. They will be posted in our 10 different online radio and video magazines. You can also follow us on Twitter at Big Blend Mag and like us on Facebook under Big Blend Magazine. Don't forget, check out the Sequoias. DiscoverTheSequoias.com. Give me more wine and I'll do really much better. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. And, again, we're going to end with our tour song because this is our special song from John Rodninger, My Favorite Bridge. Check it out.